What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of DC Action Hour. Yeah! Woo! All right, what's up? My name is Jeff. Thank you very much for watching our show. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Marx Pyle.
Hello, everyone.
And we have a special guest co-host tonight from Arrow Squad and Tomorrow's Legends, Martin Donison. Hello, sir.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So Martin does a couple awesome podcasts, obviously, as you can probably guess, about Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. We were actually on both of his shows in the past. Recently on Tomorrow's Legends. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yes, you guys were. It was fun to have you guys on there.
Yes, thank you for having us. If you're in the live chat, we love hearing from you. I actually see a bunch of people were already chatting before we went live. Thank you for your patience, folks. Thank you for chatting there. I see Raisa and Victor and Lister's Mate and Carrie Johnson, I think, is in there. Lister's Mate says, we're beginning to wonder if the Trickster had you, which we weren't live yet. Yeah, that Trickster. He was trying to pour a vat of acid onto us.
Or as Kate and James maybe got a hold of us.
Yeah, right.
Ooh,
well, folks, in this episode, and if you're new to our show, we're going to talk, we cover all the CW DC shows. So right now, the ones that are new are Black Lightning, Arrow, Supergirl, and The Flash. And, of course, we cover Legends as well when they are new. Carrie says, you in the live chat, you guys need a CW actor or actress to do a voiceover to start the show. Well, that's a great idea, Carrie. We should totally do that because we actually have had some actors on the show. We should
have had Gorilla Grodd do that.
Yeah, he was on last week.
Yeah. I've got one from Dinah on Arrow. She recorded a clip for us when Cammy went to visit her at one of the conventions. So she recorded an intro clip saying that Flash is her favorite, meaning me, because I go by the Flash. So.
Oh, sweet! That's really nice. That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So we will talk about the Trickster in this episode. You're also going to find out. We'll talk. Hey, did Barry break out of prison this week? Did Alex start her own babysitting service? Did new Team Arrow be a bunch of whiny bitches? We'll talk about all of that on the show. But first, we like to do our super tweet question, which is a fun question to kick things off. Marks, what is that?
All right, our super tweet question of the week is: Elongated Man and Kid Flash might be considered B heroes, but sometimes it takes a B to be the best. Who is a B hero or villain that you think needs to be promoted to the A-list?
All right, why don't we start with our guest, Martin, here. What would your choice be?
Okay. Now, are you talking about characters that are on the shows right now, or anybody in general?
Anybody.
Okay, well, I was only thinking of the TV shows, because that's what we're talking about tonight. For me, if I could pick one, it would be bring Roy back on Arrow and get him back to being, full front and center on the team.
Sweet. I'm totally with you. I would love to see Roy back.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Marks.
It's tough. I would say I'm going to go along with that, except instead of Roy, I'm going to say Speedy return. Speedy, and maybe for some reason, Speedy could at some point put on the green hood and have a female Green Arrow.
Oh.
That would be interesting.
I would love that.
Good call.
I love Thea, so absolutely. That would be the best. I'm looking, and the live chat, Victor Snyder just said Killer Frost. He would like to see.
Oh, yep.
Great choice.
Yeah, she's killing it every time we see her.
Yeah. On Twitter, about an hour ago, Raisa, who's also on the live chat, said, they need to promote Nissa Al Ghul. Katrina Law is awesome, and the character hangs out in a particularly interesting crossroads in the DCU. She's as likely to interact with Constantine or Zatanna as her ex-Oliver or Deathstroke. Plus, Katie Lotz would have somewhere else to go. 100% agree with that, Raisa. I love Katrina Law, and I love Nissa. That's great.
Yeah, she read my mind. That was the next one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Good pick.
That's an amazing pick. Carrie Johnson had tweeted out, I don't know if she's technically considered B-list, but I dig a really good new TV take on a Batgirl or introduce Batwoman.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, it would be good.
Good call. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Martian Manhunter series, too. Like, he'd be the lead.
Yes. Yeah, we don't get to see enough of him on Supergirl, so that would be, obviously effects budget, but it'd be great to see him. I wish they would use him more on the show.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm also gonna stick in the Batverse with my pick. And my favorite character is actually Huntress. And Huntress is always not really, she's never really A-list. She's always kind of one of those secondary ones. But I think she's awesome and rocks, and I would love to see her elevated. I really want to see her back on Arrow or somewhere.
Yeah. Well, she got mentioned. I know. Was it this week or last week? She was mentioned.
I got super excited that she might show up, but she didn't.
Yeah, so did all our listeners. Yeah, but that might be a hint, or just might be acknowledging fans that want her back. Well, at least if we mention her name.
Yeah.
Someday.
In the chat, Racist says she loves Martian Manhunter. Victor said Constant. Is that Constantine, but just not with the teen at the end? Or is there a character named Constant I don't know about?
Yeah, he's always there, just not on the shows.
Right, he's very, very predictable. All right, folks, thank you for your answers. You can keep putting them in the live chat or tweet us at Super Geeked Up. What a B-list character which should be promoted to the A-list. All right, so now let's get into the shows. Victor says it was a typo. I'm going to say it's Constantine. He still hasn't told me what it was. But all right. Listener's Mate says, I would say Livewire, but I think Supergirl killed it off this week. Boo! He loves Livewire.
Boom! Or did she? I don't know. Like electrical villains,
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Speaking of electrical villains, though, what show are we starting with, Marx?
Well, an electrical hero.
Sorry. Yeah. That's what I meant.
So Black Lightning. Lawanda, the Book of Hope is the name of the episode. It's episode 2 of season 1. It's story by Charles Holland, written by Salim Akil, I believe, who's the showrunner and co-creator, and it's directed by Oz Scott. So in this episode, the community believes Black Lightning may be back, but Pierce is torn between wanting to help his community fight the 100 and the ex-wife, who is close to coming back if he can give up the superhero identity for good. Once Pierce realizes that those who kidnapped his daughters will escape justice and that motel has reopened, he starts to see that the choice may be clear. Meanwhile, in the shadows, Tobias Well cleans up Lala's mess and makes plans to kill this Black Lightning pretender that he believes is a pretender. So we're on episode 2. You know, what do we think of it so far?
Martin, what are you thinking? We actually haven't talked about Black Lightning yet with you.
Yeah, no, I was actually surprisingly impressed with the premiere episode because I was a little late to the game to watch it, and when I watched it, I thought, wow, this is so much better than a couple of our other shows we're doing this week. The second episode, it wasn't as good as the premiere, but still good. I think there's a few. I guess I was wanting to see Black Lightning do a little bit more than he did. Like, just that the one fight sequence going up the stairs, all he did was just punch his way up the stairs. There wasn't really a lot of powers used, or no creativity with his powers anyway, like they used in the first episode. But what I'm enjoying about it is the hard-hitting groundedness of the whole show. Like they are tackling some serious issues that are constantly going on the streets of America anyway. The racism and gang violence and all that kind of stuff, which for me, gang violence is something that always it's something to worry about. Like I come from Toronto and I grew up in Toronto, and back in the day when I was a teenager, you used to have to worry about certain neighborhoods to go in because they were run by gangs and stuff like that. So watching it on this show, watching how gang violence and gang lifestyles have kind of escalated and become, there's guns and drugs and all kinds of stuff constantly going on there. It's a scary thing. So watching how this show represents that and really brings it to life, it brings a lot of tension.
Yeah, the gangs feel a little more real than Arrow's gangs, for example, right?
Yeah. Because it's something you can.
My wife is going
peanut gallery.
Yeah,
I mean in there.
She wants to make sure you know that she loves Black Lightning. It's her favorite show on the CW now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In the live chat, sorry, but Joe T says, Jeff, this is my first stream I've caught. Thank you, Joe, for watching. Appreciate that very much. And Stormy Wood says the murder of the mother was heartbreaking. It really was.
Oh, yeah. It was.
I honestly verbally reacted. I was like, oh God, jeez, it was so violent and just out of he just it didn't build up. He just did it.
He didn't hesitate. He just pulled the gun out and shot her.
Well, that's what I find different with the show right now is they are pushing the boundaries of a comic book TV show, not only with violence, with what they're actually showing and the relationships, like his daughter and her relationship. I wasn't expecting to see kind of a intimate scene on a comic book TV show like that, so that was surprising. I'd have to say, though, the one thing that probably bugs me the most on the show, and I'm going to see if you guys agree with me, is his outfit. I can't stand his outfit.
Oh, I dig it.
It's when they showed the flashbacks of his old suit when he was Black Lightning 9 years ago. They should have went with that one. That
what?
is
Oh,
the
that
one
one was cheesy.
Yeah, but it's right out of the
70s.
comic books. I don't know. It just looked bad. This one he's wearing, it's like it's so big and bulky, and just it doesn't look like he can be very mobile. Like he's very stiff. Like I don't know how he throws a punch. Those kicks are pretty impressive, but it's just way too thick, and it doesn't allow for mobility at all.
That's a good point. I will say it's kind of very much like Batman costumes, which in the movies are always very bulky and thick. Usually,
yeah.
It is that. You're right. But
I think I read somewhere that they said the suit might go through some variations over time, kind of like how Flash has had a few different versions or modifications.
As have they all, yeah. Well, and plus the lightning bolts. Sorry, the lightning bolts. They also stick out too much. I think they did. If they had made them a lot smaller and not so, it just to me it just looks a little cheesy. They're just too much. Like
he is lit up pretty bright.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, he's lightning, man.
Yeah.
Elongated, man. Sorry. We'll get to that later. In the chat, Rasa says she likes in the Black Lightning that adults act like adults, not histrionic teens. Like she has a lot of problems with a lot of CW shows, I think. Carrie says, I wish they had let Lala hang around more. He was a dynamic villain. I hope Tobias and company fill that charismatic void. Let me get back to that in a second. Victor said he teared up as she was talking with Black Lightning in the high school, meaning the mom there. And then Listener's Mate says, I'm not getting how Black Lightning relates to all the other DC shows. It's a great show, but they need to clarify how it relates. But Carrie says, I disagree. I like BL stands on its own. Well, it doesn't actually relate at all, apparently. Supposedly it's not in that universe at all, the Arrowverse, so it's supposed to be on its own.
Maybe. But we don't know.
Then why did they include him in the trailer, the Suit Up trailer?
Did they? See, I don't know. See, that's...
Yeah.
You guys are telling me maybe it's not. They said it wasn't supposed to be, but you're saying now they're kind of going back on that or something?
They launched the idea. They launched the show with plans of him being in a totally separate universe, but I think there's been so much fanfare saying that they want him in the universe that they may have hinted at. I mean, if you create a trailer for all the shows coming back, everybody's getting dressed up in the outfits in the locker room, and he's the last one to come out saying, hey, wait for the new guy. I mean, that's building up too much. If that's not telling you he's going to be in this universe, then what is? Like, I think the fans would be extremely pissed off if he's not in the universe now after making that trailer with him.
Yeah, I think they're either going to do the alternate Earth thing, and then next year they'll have a crossover, or he's going to end up being in either Supergirl's world or Arrow's world. I kind of feel like maybe Supergirl's world, maybe, because he was originally supposed to be Suicide Slum, like a dark part of the slums part of Metropolis. So there's some connections. There's more connections between him and Superman's universe. And it would also be a nice contrast that, like, you get this, you got this white Superman guy flying around. Everybody's like, yeah, he's our hero. But then you have a black character fighting crime, and they're like, oh, he's bad vigilante, Where if he's in Arrowverse, it's kind of like, oh, well, they don't like Arrow either and stuff. It might be an interesting contrast if they ever do that. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
In the chat, Victor says, the new reporter did say something about powered people in other cities in the first episode.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Stormy says, I'm excited for his daughter to explore her powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you guys know, I don't know Black Lightning very well from the comic books. Do you know what his daughter's powers are, or what are we looking forward to?
Yeah, Marx kind of went through it last week. But you can go ahead.
Right. Yes.
Give me Cole's Notes version.
His daughter, in the comic books, his daughters get powers. They're called Thunder and Lightning. Thunder gets the ability to control her density. She's really strong and hard to hurt. And lightning can turn into sort of like an energy, kind of like an energy version, electricity version of Human Torch, I guess.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so
Cool.
They do that, have that in the comic books, and also the character who's Thunder, she was a lesbian in the comic books too. They had a different character who she was paired off with. That was a super character, but they're continuing that. So
Well, that might come.
Cool.
Yeah, it might.
Cool.
So Carrie says he totally loved the scene where BL was walking through the city to take on Lala, and the community had his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's walking up the door and he goes, "Black Lightning, my man."
Yeah. Well, I think they established that in the flashbacks in the history that they were talking when he was Black Lightning 9 years ago, that the community really liked him because he was cleaning up the streets and taking care of the violence where the cops weren't able to. So I think they really liked him, and I just would imagine that they are happy to see him back for sure.
So Carrie had brought up about how he was kind of sad to see Lala get killed off, which he gets at the end of this episode. Tobias Whale, or Wale, as we kind of said last week, Marx's pronunciation.
No, I said Tubius
I know,
or whatever.
but then we said, well, let's make his name Wale too, instead of Whale. But Tobias Whale so kills him. So I am with you, Carrie. Lala, not a nice guy at all, obviously, but he felt like a very real character to me, and I was like, yeah, this guy's a good villain. And I think Tobias Whale sucks. I said it last week. I think Damien Dark season 4 Arrow is way better than Tobias Whale, and I think Damien Dark is terrible on season 4.
That's a whole lot of hate on that guy.
I can't stand this character. He's absolutely terrible. It's like, just get him out of there.
Wow. Okay. Why though? Tell him. Well, because I wasn't with you guys last week to give me a short version of why you hate him so much.
A little bit of him. I thought last week it was just kind of a little too over the top and cliched, and it's the same thing here. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it doesn't feel real like the other characters as much to me. It's almost just like a cliched villain who's leader of the gang, you know? And why is he into kind of S&M stuff apparently now, with putting the gag over his mouth? And does he have super strength apparently? That's how you could choke him out now too, I guess.
Probably.
I think he's strong, yeah.
Yeah, he's sort of like...
And he's a racist, I guess, too, now? Which I guess is fine because he's a villain, but I don't know.
Well, it's the interesting irony of it, because he's black, but he's a black albino.
Is he half black? Oh, he's a black albino? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's a black albino. The actor actually is a black albino also. So
okay.
The character is supposed to be.
It's okay. Yeah, because I was watching with my partner here, and she was saying the same thing. Like, man, that guy, did they just put a lot of makeup on him? Because he sure doesn't seem like a white guy. And I was feeling the same way. Like, holy cow.
Yeah. So it's kind of ironic because he's black, but yet he has this disdain towards some black people. It's also could be a class thing too, and he thinks he's above all that. So, but there's some interesting things to explore with the character. I always felt like he's sort of like in the comic books, he's sort of like Kingpin in some ways. So he's very strong and big and stuff. I don't know if he's superhuman or not, but
yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It was kind of DC's version of Kingpin, just not as big.
This is no Vincent D'Onofrio, man. I'm telling you that.
Yeah. But just the character. The characters seem very similar in that sense. Yeah.
Maybe once we get some more airtime with him, we'll learn. I think they feel like they need to up the ante a bit because Black Lightning's pretty much kicking all the other gang people's butts, and they can't really. The only complication is if he tries to hide his identity, or they're going after his daughters and stuff. That's something his powers can't help him with. But when he's got that suit on, they're no match for him.
Here's a comment you like. Carrie Johnson says maybe Tobias Whale is strong because he's related to King Shark.
So is he really called Killer Whale then? Is that his villain name?
Sure.
So let's talk about this choice, because I think it's kind of weird. Like, his ex-wife keeps trying to make him choose between being Black Lightning and his family. And do you guys feel it's a fair choice? Do you think he's really addicted to his powers, or what's going on there? Plus, it's been 10 years.
Like Robert Palmer, he's addicted to love. Right?
Oh, man.
I think it's a very realistic portrayal that his wife doesn't. She went through this before with him, and I think like anybody, if heroes were real, and your husband or wife was going out risking their life all the time, I think it's very realistic. You would not be happy about that, and that's right. I mean, you have to worry about if you're gonna come back alive or not. Your spouse, the person you love.
How different is that of being married to a fireman or a policeman?
Or a soldier, right?
Yeah.
No, it is very similar. And guess what? I bet all those people have the same struggles.
They have the same
they
struggles.
have to try to move through that as well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and some can, and some find a way to do that, and I'm sure others have more difficulty with it. So I think it's realistic.
Yeah.
That she would want that.
I think the struggle. I'm not totally sold that he's addicted to his powers. I think where the addiction may have been, at least my feeling is that addicted to helping people and cleaning up the streets, because 9 years ago it sounded like he was the only one that was able to do it, so he probably felt the weight of the community on his shoulders, that it's up to him to take care of everybody, and he just kept going, and obviously it did him in or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what happened, what they had said. It was just too much, and his body started failing him or something like that. So I think that story will probably flesh out a little bit more as we see how it affects him this go around.
Yeah, there's some backstory that they've alluded to, but they haven't really told us yet. I think there's going to be more flashbacks and stuff. Because did you notice in the, previously on, in the front of episode 2, they actually had some footage that hadn't even aired yet, and I was like, wait a minute, they haven't marched yet. That's from that's episode 3, because I saw a commercial for it, and what's going on here?
Of course, I thought sometimes from previously on, they show footage of scenes that made the editing floor and not into the episode.
I think they do sometimes. Yeah. But I think, but anyway, we'll see. I want them to explore more about this Gambi's background with them, and they hinted that his father was killed by Well, and he thinks he killed him, I guess, and I don't know. So
I do think it's a good choice for him to have to go through, though. Like, is he going to be Black Lightning, or is he going to be with his family?
It is, and it should be. Oh, I'm sorry. It should be more complicated now that the daughter's getting powers.
Well, yeah. What's the mother going to think now if she wants to start fighting crime too? If all three of them eventually get out there together,
she's not going to like that at all. I'm sure.
She's outnumbered. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to suck. She's like, everybody has powers except me. What the hell?
Yeah.
I know. It's like being Win on Supergirl.
Yeah.
Stormy says his ex-wife needs fleshed out to be fleshed out. Maybe I do understand her point of view. Okay. And Carrie says, one thing I'm not clear about was that it appeared at the beginning of the ep that using his power somehow injures or hurts him physically. Is that true? Yeah, he was really hurting at the beginning.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if that's because he's gone 9 years without really using his ability, and all of a sudden he's gone all out 2 episodes in a row. So maybe that whatever goes on physiologically inside him, it's affecting him right now because he hasn't used them in so long.
Yeah, it might be. I don't really know.
Or maybe that's always the way it was. Maybe his powers always took a toll on him.
Yeah, maybe. But you would think that after only, essentially he's only been out 2 nights in a row to use them. Like, that seems...
Maybe he has to get used to using them again, right? Because it's been so long, he's not... Like you were kind of saying, he's...
Yeah. Maybe.
I imagine they'll tell us some more about that, because I was really confused too, because that looks painful.
Well, it could be like Flash needing to eat a lot of food because of his metabolism being so fast. It could be the same idea.
Could be.
Whatever he's using in his body to create this electric charge is probably affecting him somehow, so I guess he's going to have to counter it. Didn't his wife give him something? She gave him something to take.
Did she?
Oh, I thought she just kind of was tending to him. I don't think she did anything special.
I don't think so. No, she is a neuroscientist or something, right?
Yes, I found that out because it was in the line.
Yeah, I just wonder if that has something, or why she thinks he's addicted to. I'm very curious. There's a lot of questions here.
Well, yeah, and we're only 2 episodes in, so we don't want all the answers yet. We got to stretch this out for the whole season, right?
Yeah.
In the chat, Lister's Mate says, I did notice that Black Lightning had a fear about his power, but I thought it was more of an awe and reverence of them, not an intimidation thing. Victor says, all power has a price. Great power has a high price to pay. Yes, it does. Also has great responsibility.
Just had to say that.
Yes.
Even though it's Marvel, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Actually, I realize I'm wearing a Marvel shirt. You can't really see
What's going on here?
I know,
What's on a mug?
I got Marvel behind me, too, so
Yeah, sorry.
I got a little mix of everybody.
Gosh.
Oh, please. We talk about Marvel plenty times on here still. It's fine.
Okay.
And use of music. You guys like how they're using the music?
It fits the show.
I mean, it's very street gang kind of, rap music kind of thing. It's suitable for the visuals that we're getting and the setting, I guess you could say. The setting, it suits it.
The one thing I don't like is it's kind of like, it's a little stinger, I guess they play, like when the logo comes on. It's something about Black Lightning's back is how it ends or something. It's a quick rap. But it's so quick, I'm like, it just doesn't fit. They're trying to like put a song into like 3-second time frame.
Yeah.
And it's so short.
They have it is a full song because I've heard it.
But they take a little snippet of it for the 3 seconds, like how the Arrow logo goes in. It's like the Black Lightning logo real quick, and they try to play it like it's almost like a theme song.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work at all for me. Like it's you're taking a song and trying to make it like that,
Yeah.
Well, the logo, like his suit, doesn't work either. That logo looks like it's something out of the 60s. It's
very old school, yeah.
Like, come on, modernize that up to at least match the other TV shows' logos. And
shows he's got history.
Yeah.
Versus these other heroes that just started out. Right? Yeah.
We'll bring back the old suit then because it looked better.
All right, so what about the daughters, Jennifer and Anissa? You guys like them?
Well, I like the older daughter. I like that. I mean, I guess it suits the younger daughter. She's just being a bit of a punk right now. She's kind of annoying because she's so disobedient, and that just always annoys me. But what can I say? It suits the age that she's at. She doesn't want to follow her sister. Her sister seems to be following in her dad's shoes, and I think she wants to strike out on her own. But she's annoying in the way that she's not so smart. Like she's making some dumb decisions and not listening to her sister when her sister's right there to kind of support her and help her.
Because I think she's supposed to actually be quite intelligent, and I think, right?
Yeah.
Character. But yeah, I mean, she's got like a trifecta going here. She smokes, she drinks, and she does drugs. It's like, awesome, kid. You're on the right track.
And hanging out in gang territory too. Yeah.
Yeah, and doing it in school too all the time. Great, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But your father's the principal. Awesome. Anissa's obviously more likable because she's older, she's wiser. She's I like how she threw that guy across the aisle in the convenience store.
That was cool.
By the way, I knew as soon as we show the convenience store, a robbery's about to happen. Every convenience store scene, a robbery happens in these shows.
That's why I don't go to convenience stores.
Late at night, anyway. Yeah.
I'm not sure though why. Like her girlfriend, I think had a good point. Like, why they've been dating a year? Why is it such a secret? Kind of like, why doesn't she want to introduce her to anybody? And I don't know. Like, that doesn't seem like a very good relationship after a year. That you're still liking that.
No.
Like, I thought the girlfriend had a good point, and then she was like, "Oh, why are you bringing that up?" And the girlfriend's like, "Okay, sorry." I was like, "No, that was a legit point."
Yeah. She must not be
herself. Come on.
She's not. I'm guessing she's not out of the closet yet with her parents and stuff.
No,
they don't.
No, the parent says she's with her girlfriend twice, and I can't remember that girl's name.
Yeah, but that could be just like.
No, he said she's with your girlfriend. No. He knows. He totally knows.
Okay.
I'm almost positive he knows.
Then I don't know why. What's going on there?
And how old is she supposed to be, Anissa, the older daughter?
She's in grad school, I believe, is right. So she's probably mid-20s, I would guess. What, between 23, 24, 25, something like that?
Okay. Yeah.
I would think.
So I'm sure she's told them do whatever she wants with her life, and it doesn't matter what her parents say. I'm sure I got the feeling they knew just because of how many times they brought up that she's at her girlfriend's house. It seems like they know her, or at least know who she is.
Yeah. Raisa says in the chat, Jennifer, the younger daughter, is CW. Okay, so she's the classic teen, I guess, angsty CW.
Yeah.
She should go to Riverdale.
Yeah.
And then Victor says, I work in one of those stores. Oh, convenience store? Oh, God. Well, I hope they don't get robbed, Victor.
Has it ever been robbed?
Or I hope Anissa or Black Lightning are there to take down the villain. The Robert.
Oh, man. Before I forget, let me just give a shout out to Stormy there, because she's one of our Arrow Squad people that sends us feedback every week. So, hi, Stormy. Nice.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
I didn't know that. Stormy's actually been part of our show for quite a while, too. I didn't know that's awesome. That's great.
That's a good name too. Where we're talking about Black Lightning. Stormy.
All right, yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to cover about Black Lightning before we score it?
Oh, in the chat. Okay, in the chat before you go ahead, but in the chat, tell us each week we need a different scale for Black Lightning ratings. Like, we do like capes for Supergirl, boxing glove arrows for Arrow. Last week, what did we do? I forgot what we did even last week.
Oh my gosh, what did we do?
Okay, great. We have a horrible memory.
Thunderclaps? No,
that was we didn't do that. Anyway, give us a suggestion in the chat what we should do the ratings on for Black Lightning this week. And tell us if you remember last week, because our memories like Steve's.
How about like electrical charges or something like that? Because you already have lightning bolts for Flash.
We use lightning bolts for Flash. That's our problem.
Was it amps?
No.
So,
Amperage.
amperage.
Oh, Victor just said amps as a suggestion, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, but let the chat will give us the suggestions. Of what did you have a point, Martin, you were about to make?
Well, because we briefly talked about Tobias's main guy, the guy. Why am I forgetting his name? Lala. Yeah. Like they did him in 2 episodes after establishing him of being quite. So who's going to replace him? It is like, because he was quite a counterpoint to, Principal, right? The Principal version of Black Lightning.
Yeah, they knew each other. He went to school under him.
Yeah, so I don't know why they would end him off. Like, so someone's going to have to step in that place.
Maybe it'll be the girl who never speaks.
Yeah.
Just walks along with Tobias every scene.
Yeah. He's got 2 henchmen. He also has some goofy-looking guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in this episode, but he was in the first one.
It'll be the little kid that delivered the message.
Yeah. By the way, Carrie reminds us it was gold stars we did last week for the teacher thing.
Because he's principal. Yeah.
That's cool.
That makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
Raisa suggests bolts. That's actually good. That's really good. Carrie says, do Books of Hope this week. Was that one?
Yeah, this books. That's the name of it. Yeah.
Oh, the name of it.
Lawanda Books.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Well, hello. Why don't we do? I want to do bolts. That's obviously very appropriate.
Let's do bolts. Yeah. 1 out of 4, or how many out of 4 bolts?
You could do 0.5, 0.25, whatever you want.
Out of bolts. Okay, for just this episode.
Yes, maximum of 4 bolts.
I'll give it 3.5 bolts. It was good. It wasn't as good as the pre-rare. Okay, so 3 bolts. I'll knock it down. I forgot we're on a scale of 4, so 3 bolts.
3.25 bolts for me.
All right. I think I'll also give it 3.25 bolts. I actually think I liked it a little better than the first episode. I actually liked a lot that it was hardly anything about him as a hero, and it was really a lot more of the interpersonal relationship and his choices he had to make.
One quick question for you guys. I forgot to say. The cop that's friends with him, do you think he is in on it at all, or is he like just incompetent?
I'm curious if he knows he's Black Lightning or not. I wasn't able to figure that out.
I don't think he's either. I don't think he's in it. I don't think he's incompetent. I think he's doing the best he can in a terrible situation.
Yeah.
Question for you guys.
What's that?
Sorry. What do you guys think of his Taylor buddy? I'm really not thinking of the names right now. What's the Taylor?
Peter Gamby, I think.
Yeah. Like he's basically the Cisco of Black Lightning.
Yeah,
but
he's cool.
I actually like him. Yeah,
I like him a lot.
Cool. Yeah,
I do too.
The actor's really good,
and he's in the comic books also. So cool. They're actually staying pretty close in many ways so far.
Yeah, that's good.
So across the board in the chat, they're giving it 3 bolts. Carrie said it would be more, but they killed Lala, and Victor says pi bolts, so he gives it 3.14. I guess bolts.
Pretty funny.
All right. All right, there we go. That's Black Lightning, everybody.
Nice.
Excuse me. Now we are moving on to Supergirl. This is the 11th episode of season 3. It's called Fort Rozz, written by Gabriel Lanis and Anna Muskie-Goldwyn, directed by Gregory Smith. In this episode, it's a girls' space night out as Supergirl, Saturn Girl, Livewire, and Psi travel to Fort Rozz to find a priestess who has key information on Rain. Plus, Alex shows why she's the greatest babysitter in the universe. All right. So, let's start with our supervillains of the week here. Livewire and Psi, well, our supervillain helpers, actually. Because they figure out, of course, well, we have to go to Fort Rozz to find this priestess who has information on Rain, but Saturn Girl and Supergirl, they say, we can't do it alone. We need some help. Oh, by the way, no males can go because it'll kill them immediately because of the Y chromosome, right? So we got to recruit some females, and the only women we know apparently are supervillains. So
apparently, that's it. Yeah.
I guess that's probably, well, I don't know. They're not going to take Lena there, so I guess, right?
Yeah, and Alex is injured, so
exactly. Alex had the the broken leg or whatever, right? So all right. So Livewire and Psi, what did you think about them in this episode? We've seen Livewire obviously a few times. Psi, I think we've only seen one other time, right?
Mm-hmm. I liked them overall, better than I thought. I wasn't so sure at first, but Psi paid off at the end quite well. She talks really weird though, but she's an interesting character. and Livewire wasn't so bad. As a typical like supervillain now turned into an ally kind of thing, and then of course they die. And I think Livewire is probably not dead. Because she's electrical type person. I think there's a workaround there where she could survive somehow, and if they want to bring her back.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
What do you think those of Livewire and Psi in this episode, Martin?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed both the performances of the actresses. They both really dove into the roles, and I mean, it's fun to watch Livewire because she is pretty crazy. So I think that actress probably has a good role with it, good time with it, and yeah, no, they were fun. I think it was neat to see Psi a little bit more involved. I'd like to have seen more of what she can do because I have the feeling she's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and there seems to be. I kind of wonder what her background is because she seems a little unstable, and they never did explain why she attacked Saturn Girl, and she didn't want to say. There's some unanswered stuff that maybe is in a future episode.
Right.
Well, I think it sounds like with the Saturn Girl, it was like she didn't have control of her powers, right? Is that what they were playing it off as?
That's what they said. She never confirmed nor denied any of that. She just kind of was like, whatever, I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah. I've liked Livewire and other ones. I didn't like her quite as much. I don't know. For some reason, it was a little. I don't know why I didn't like her quite as much. Maybe it was a little too over the top. I'm not sure, but she was still cool. But I like Psi better in this episode actually than Livewire. She is pretty intriguing, and she is very super powerful, obviously.
Yeah, like when she sees Rain pulling up, and she's like. Says it's elaborate poem and stuff, and just like, who does that? It's like... that
was really weird, actually. I don't know why the poem was necessary.
It's like, I just don't think she's been really stable.
No, not at all. I'm sure not at all. Raisa says, "Love the Sarah Douglas cameo." Who's Sarah Douglas? Is that a character? Is that an actress? Tell me more,
Raisa.
Raisa.
Is that the priestess?
Oh, maybe. Tell us more, Raisa. Carrie says, did they kill Livewire because the CW didn't want 2 electricity-powered people now that BL is on? I don't think that... Probably not, because they're separate shows. I don't think that matters so much. And then Lister's Mate says, I'm pretty sure Livewire will be brought back as the AI of Fort Rozz. The only reason I say that is I had the feeling they were going to use that place more in future episodes. That's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Raisa says Superman 2 Ursa. Oh,
is that who she is?
She was the priestess in this one? Is that what you're saying? If so, that's really cool, actually.
I think so. And she did a good job.
I remember hearing that she was supposed to be guest starring, and I didn't recognize her in the episode. So.
Oh, she was really good. That's great.
Yeah.
Good call, Raisa. Good catch.
Wow. Cool.
Awesome.
So, do we buy the whole radiation only affecting men deal?
Fine.
Is that a
Yes,
thing?
I'm fine. Look, that's just one of those things you gotta just accept it. I'm cool with it because I like all female episodes. I think that's awesome.
Oh, I do too.
What I struggled with this whole, moving on to your next point, the storyline here, they're like, we're going to Fort Rozz. The only villains left on it are the baddest of the bad, the worst of the worst. Oh, and we can't bring any of our male friends, so it's just the girls. And Supergirl's like, I got no powers, but I'm going to go anyway. Like, wait a sec, you're going to face the baddest of the bad in Fort Rozz. You shouldn't be going.
She's Supergirl.
At all.
She always goes.
She's not. She's just a girl at that point.
Oh.
Well, she's got no power. She's got no ability. She's not invulnerable, right? Like
she can still be a hero without powers. Is what
she learned hand to hand from Alex. They did a whole story thing about that too when she had to learn how to fight. So, and she did fight. She should have brought a weapon though. I mean, they could have at least done that.
Well, that and the fact that everybody just let her go, like nobody even showed concern. Hey, maybe you shouldn't go. You're like, not Martian Manhunter, not Wynn, not anybody said, hey, be careful. It's just they just let her go.
What they should have done is, remember that exoskeletal suit that Alex wore? They should have gave her that. That would have been pretty sweet.
See,
but yeah.
Borrow a bow and arrow from Green Arrow or something.
Yeah, there you go.
She's like a terrible shot.
Or at least a shield from Guardian, because
Yeah.
Anyway, I just
in the chat. By the way, Carrie says they could have taken Wynn's old girlfriend Lyra. What happened to her?
Yeah.
She went to some other world or something, right? I guess or
no.
I
don't know what exactly happened. I think she went somewhere else, but not another world. I don't think.
All right. And Victor says, "Wait, Livewire saved Supergirl, and they just leave her dead body behind. I will never save Supergirl at the risk of my own life."
Right? What's up with that? That way she come back to life. If you don't have a body, they're gonna come back to life.
Yeah. Well, like you said, she's made of electricity, so she probably just turned into electrical energy, and she'll be back. I'm sure.
I think so. There's electrical villains have always been very hard to kill permanently, or anybody who could turn into like Sandman. He's very hard to kill permanently. And
I think I'll be honest with you, though, it's nice that they actually keep her dead. That's the problem with these shows; they don't ever know how to keep people dead. It was a good sacrifice. It was a good character arc for her. She made a sacrifice. She was a better person to save someone. That's the way you should let someone die, as a character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good point.
We'll just see. They have enough seasons. She'll come back. This is how it works. And she'll be evil this time because she'll have like amnesia or something weird because of the side effect of her dying, and she'll be all evil. It's like Q and Spike and whoever, those kind of things.
And being that close to the blue sun, her power will change.
blue electricity.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you want to talk more about Fort Rozz storyline, or all good?
Well, I mean, what'd you guys think of the prison? Like, I was a little disappointed too. I was expecting more of an alien-looking type of prison, and it just looked like hallways with jail cells. It was not. So I was a little underwhelming.
I'm going to throw out 3 logical things that I had problems with. I'm always looking for plot holes, right? 1, why were they surprised the cells were open? Because are they just like, how are they eating and going to the restroom and stuff if they're all stuck in cells? Because they're all criminals in there, right? That was kind of weird. Am I right? Or you?
Yeah.
And then 2, do you guys understand what happened with Livewire whenever she got attacked by the mist beings or whatever they were and fell out in space? Because that was really
absolutely not.
Yeah, that was weird, right? I was like, what just happened? It's like,
and she survived it and came back, like a very Princess Leia Star Wars moment there.
Well, because she can turn into electricity. She does that. Like she goes into computer screens and comes back out and stuff, and in other episodes. But how she fell out there, I never understood. It's like, was there a window, and did it bust open then? Because there was something weird there with their editing that I don't think came across I'm glad I wasn't the only one then. And then what was that thing? And then I get the idea of raising sense of urgency of time and such by having them start to get sucked into the star. But it really annoys me when they do that, and there's no it's just a coincidence. It's just like, well, we showed up just at the worst time ever because it's just suddenly getting sucked in there. It's been here all this time, but right now, today, it's getting sucked in. If they had done something that inadvertently caused it to happen, that would have been a lot better, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, in the chat, Raisa says, this might have been the post-crossover budget-saving episode. Maybe because of the way the prison looks and other stuff. And Carrie says, jumping ahead, I'm excited about the other world killers. Yes. We'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. All right, cool. I mean, overall, I actually like that they went to Fort Rozz. That was cool, and what they're doing, the priestess was cool, and so I was fine with that. And it was I always did kind of villains having to try to be heroes. Those storylines always work pretty well for me usually.
Like Suicide Squad.
All right. He doesn't mean the movie necessarily. He means
not the movie.
Oh, okay.
Like an arrow. Concept. Like an arrow. That's some good stuff with those. I think.
Yeah, they did, and we just unfortunately didn't get them enough.
Carrie, thank you for the segue, sir. I also like the Alex Ruby relationship. That is my next thing. This is my favorite part of the episode. Alex's adventures in babysitting is what I'm calling it.
Wait a sec. Your favorite part of a superhero TV show episode is watching another girl babysit a younger girl?
Absolutely.
There's something wrong there.
No,
that's the problem.
No,
yeah.
No, that's not wrong. Because, in fact, you'll see this if you watch my Super Knocked Up series. I don't watch superhero shows because of the superpowers. I watch it because of the relationships and the characters.
Yeah.
So that's all that's
good.
That's all about character and relationship, man. Like you can show all the I don't care. You can show all the CGI and that's why I don't really care about the Marvel movies anymore. I just don't care anymore. It's all like, okay, I've seen enough fights and stuff and explosions, and not that they don't try to do story, they do, but.
I'm just bummed that Alex is down and out. She's my favorite character on Supergirl, so I'm just bummed that she's just sitting around on a couch with a broken leg.
No, but I like that they gave her the time to have that stuff. Just like that's why we love the Maggie stuff. That there was times for her to do non-action stuff as well.
You like the Maggie stuff? Okay, I'm out of here.
Actually, we're gonna kick you out because Maggie and Alex, Marx and I have said, is the best relationship. Well, Marx I think said it's ever been on any superhero show, right?
Yeah.
I definitely any DC show and possibly any show. Period.
Huh.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated every second of it.
Oh God, no, we loved it, man. It was.
It
amazing.
It took.
Actually, our viewers, I think, are going to start putting you up on the stake here. No, I'm just kidding.
Start burning me. Yeah. I mean, hey, everyone's allowed to have their opinions.
No, absolutely.
I just think it took Alex right out of the whole show. Season 1, Alex was fun. She was engaging. She was kick-ass. I loved her going out on her missions and just taking names and kicking butt. And then when she got the exosuit, like we mentioned, just everything. And her relationship with her sister, with Kara, that there was so much strength and sister bonding moments there that season 2 we completely got none of because of her stupid relationship with Maggie. Maggie came in and ruined the entire feel of the whole show for me. It took Alex right out of it. She didn't go on any missions anymore. Every single scene with Alex was, oh, woe is me, Maggie stuff, and I hated it. I hated it.
All right. Well, I always like hearing other people's opinions that are very different. So that's great. I always like when people share that. For me, it's the total opposite. I think season 2 Alex was way better than season 1. I actually think we fleshed out much more who she was as a person, and I think that actually the Maggie relationship gave her much more depth into her character, and more like 3-dimensional stuff. So.
Well, I don't disagree with you there on fleshing out her storyline and everything like that. That's totally fine. It's just we lost the coolness about Alex. The entire season 2 was just about a relationship. There was no more cool Alex fighting. There was no more cool Alex doing missions. There was no Alex in charge doing anything anymore. That's what we missed. If they could have done a half and half and kind of, show us a little bit of both, then it probably would have been better. So that's why, and like I said, we lost her and her sister's relationship, which I loved the last couple episodes. We see the two of them sitting on the couch having their sister time again. We didn't have that at all in season 2, hardly. And that's what I loved so much about the first season was their sister bond that we get to see developed over time.
That's because she was busy with Mon-el. That's why.
The sister bond is
Yes.
really good. But I say it was because she was too busy just being arrogant and whiny last season.
She was very arrogant in season 2, yes.
So,
Yeah. Well, and do you guys like the whole Mon-el storyline too?
well,
'Cause that's
hey,
another
let me share
relationship,
some
right?
stuff in the chat, and we'll get to that. Raisa says
Okay.
she liked Maggie, but agreed balance was off, so she's there somewhat with you there. Old Titans just joined us in the chat. Jeff, we agree for once. Oh my God, sir, this is a banner day. We always disagree, me and Old Titans. The relationships rule. Maggie was great. Babysitting Alex was fun. Yes, I'm going to mark this day down. I finally agreed with Old Titans, John Paul, he's been on our show before. Anyway,
Too funny.
See, here's the thing. Even though Marx and whoever else is on the show usually say, "Oh, Ruby, we don't like her," I
liked her this episode.
I've always liked Ruby. I think this episode shows how cool Ruby is, and she's not like I know a lot of people don't like kids on shows, but I think Ruby's great. I think her and Alex have an awesome bond together. Like Race and other people are saying, I can totally see your predictions about Alex possibly adopting Ruby. That happening. I understand where that's coming
good point.
from for sure. First of all, I think Alex, the whole thing about Alex wanting to be a mom, I mean, it just shows here. I think she's great with Ruby, right? It just totally makes sense that she would be an awesome mom. I love, wait, Carrie says, I don't know if I read this, I'm sorry. It's not wrong when badass Alex is the sitter shaking down bullies. Dude, I love that so much, that scene where she goes, as she presents the FBI and like scares the kid. It was so good.
That scene was great. Yeah, that scene I loved.
You know, I also loved is that they threw like this little comedy, which you don't get a lot with Alex so much, but at the end she was like, yeah, you can close the door. Close the door now.
Yeah.
And then she like hobbles off. It was awesome.
No. And those are just some small reasons why she's my favorite character. I love the actress, the way she plays her. She's
she's great. She's so good at playing action and comedy and everything. So
yeah, she's great. Yeah. I think she's from Grey's Anatomy, isn't she? That's where she was for quite a few seasons.
Kyler Lee, is that where she's from?
Yeah, Kyler Lee, yeah.
Listener's Mate says, I thought it was very admirable how Alex dealt with Ruby's real-life cyberbully. I wish I would have someone like her in my life to approach the bullies in my life.
Yeah.
It was nice. She didn't actually like hurt her or anything, right? Or like threaten to beat her up. She'd handle it in a very like cool way.
Yeah. Now, what would she have done if one of the parents answered the door?
Same thing.
Yeah.
She's FBI.
Tell your kid.
She's like, yeah, your kid is like doing cyberbullying.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. She would have worded it a little differently.
It just wouldn't have been that funny, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a good scene. It was a good scene.
And I have grown to like Ruby better. She was a little too whiny for a little while there, and but she's been a lot better. And she's good, and she seems to be a good actress too. She's able to play a lot of different levels, as you know, the Ruby actress does for her age, especially. So
yeah,
yep, yeah, she's better this season for sure. Yeah.
Well, this is the first season actually of Ruby.
Oh, she didn't come in near.
Right? No, because Rain was this season, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's episode 1 of this season. She's been around. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're 11 episodes in. Okay.
All right. Yes, Victor. Good eye. That's my cat. Reese is behind me. He's gray and white though, not black and white. But yeah, thank you. And let's see, Brainy and Win. Why is Brainy such a jerk in this episode?
Yeah.
That's how he is. It's his charm.
Aren't all people with super high intellects kind of like that anyway?
Yeah, but he wasn't as much in the first one. The first one, he was kind of charming in that way, I thought. You know, in his.
Well, and he was awestruck to be meeting Supergirl too.
He's not awestruck at all about Win.
No, it was fun seeing them banter back and forth, and then Win actually come up with an idea that he could use.
You know what I would like to see though? Usually when that happens and the other character and even Jean was like, great job, Agent Shot or something, right? Like, but with the idea. But then Brainy doesn't say anything. Usually at least the other character kind of at least admits like, oh shit, maybe I was being a dick, or maybe you are actually can contribute something. But no, didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He actually took credit for the plan later when he contacted Saturn Girl. A jerk.
There was kind of, there was a look on his face of kind of some respect, I guess. Whenever he said it,
it was a look of like, oh, I can't believe this guy made me look bad.
But I like that because it's a good trait to that a flaw of his personality that to play with. Then make him a bad guy just makes him problematic socially with everybody. So.
Old Titans, who is a huge fan of the Legion, says that was brainy all the way. All right, so I guess he says that was very accurate to how he is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there's something about his makeup or his hair. They need to. I think he looked a little bit better this episode, but they need to tweak it a little bit. He's going to be out.
What is that? Because listening to another Supergirl podcast, they were talking about how much the makeup is screwed up and the makeup department needs to be fired. Like I don't know what he's supposed to look like because you can see on his it's like patchy. It's not blue all the way, so I don't know. I just thought, that's the way it's supposed to be. I didn't think he was. Cause I'm remembering the other Brainiac that was on Supergirl, played by Laura Vandervoort.
Yeah. Indigo.
Yeah.
She looked cool.
Yeah,
she looked cool.
She was like blue, solid. So I don't know what was wrong with this guy.
Isn't Brainiac 5? Isn't he green? Or am I wrong? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I thought he had green skin.
Old Titans, you can tell us. And Old Titans, by the way, went off totally last week about how the look was terrible for Brainy.
He
said the character was spot on, but the look was terrible.
Yeah. The coloring of on his face is not quite. It's uneven, and and his hair doesn't fall naturally. It looks weird. It's like he slicked it back, but it's standing up, like something weird. I don't know if it's because he's got kind of longer hair, and they're having a hard time making the wig look right. I'm not sure what the deal is.
Old Titan says he should be green first of all and very blonde.
Oh,
and
he's got pretty blonde hair, right? Or is that white? It's blonde.
He is white. Victor says Brainy and I have the same hair color. And then Francis says Brainy is hard to translate from comic to live action. He's like a gray-red tornado.
Okay.
And then
I should pull up a picture of him. I'm curious.
Lister's mate says Brainiac makes me think that he's too much of a cross between an Andorian from Star Trek and a Smurf. I don't like him. He is almost a little bit like the old school Andorians, which looked a little cheesy, obviously, in the original Star Trek series.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe they brought some of their hair pieces. Well, they didn't really have hair; they had the ears, but.
I don't get it. I mean, this character's around for multiple episodes. You'd think they'd put a little more energy into his makeup.
Now I understand. I just Google searched images for Brainiac 5 from the comics, and he you know what he looks like? He looks like Beast Boy with blonde hair. That's what he. Yeah, he's in a purple suit with very Hulk green colored skin.
Oh, you know what? I missed this tweet. I think to our question about the B to A, I think somebody had said Beast Boy on Twitter. Actually, I forgot about that.
Right.
Be here to A-list. All right, anyway, last thing for Supergirl is the other world killer. So we get introduced to one at the very end here, right?
Purity.
What is it?
Purity.
Oh, how do you know? Did they say that?
She said the names of them, and I just know she's Purity because I saw a picture of her or something. So.
Okay.
Because there's Purity, and what was the other ones? It was Purity and... Pestilence.
Pestilence. How many are there? We know?
Well, I thought she said 3, but I think when she said power, she was just repeating power for emphasis, because then later Supergirl just says purity and pestilence. So I thought at first it was power, purity, and pestilence. But
right. Yeah, because they both showed up right at the very end, didn't they? That was like the last scene.
Well, I think the other girl isn't necessarily one, right? That was just a friend, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think she is.
It's just that we only saw the one really at the end, who had the power.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what purity's like, and pestilence especially sounds imposing.
Yeah, like the Horseman there.
Yeah, that's why I thought there was 3, because I was like, make 4, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how Supergirl's going to take him down. She can barely take out Rain.
Yeah, she can take out Rain.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when we get the full Legion, they'll help her.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a few more. Bouncing Boy, he'll make the difference.
Oh, he'll make all the difference. Bouncing Boy. Watch out. All right, we rate this out of possible 4 capes, folks. What do you guys give this episode, Marx?
3.25 capes.
Wow.
All right, 3.25 capes. Martin?
50-50 on a man, 2 capes. That's all it gets.
Ooh, man. All
I
right.
have last week. I've been so disappointed with Supergirl this season. Last week's episode was by far the best episode of the season for me, and then they dropped the ball again this week. So yeah, only 2.
All right, I did like last week's a lot.
Last week was really good.
Racer gives it 3 capes in the live chat. Let's see. Oh, boy, what should I give it? I'm between a couple different scores here. I'm going to give it... All right, I'm between these. So I'll give it 3.35 capes.
You guys are generous.
I liked it. No, we're just correct. I'm just kidding.
Oh, just correct. That's it.
No, actually, I'll give it a little boost because I love the Alex and Ruby thing.
That
was awesome. So, and Old Titan says 3 capes mostly for Brainy's portrayal. Victor says Rain is going to switch to the light side at the last minute. That is my thought. 3 capes. All right.
I think she'll have to, or they're doomed. Who knows?
Okay.
Well, there was that brief moment, right, where she got through to her on Rozz,
Yeah,
oh, and also Sam kind of knows something's up with her, which she said to Alex, so maybe she'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, before we move on, the one point I do really like is the Rain character. I think the actress playing her, the way she switches back and forth between her civilian Sam and Rain. She is phenomenal. She's really playing it well. I like the Rain character, and I like that. I like that she's tough. She's not an easy one to put down, and Supergirl's actually struggling for a change. I like that.
I agree. I actually think she's the best villain so far in any of the seasons. Like the best antagonist.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and she can't. She's not as weak as Supergirl is towards certain things, which is a big deal. She still had her powers despite the sun color. She can handle kryptonite a little bit better. I mean, concentrate kryptonite does it, but
I had heard. Where did I hear it? Someone was saying that Doomsday is also supposed to be one of the world killers, and the one thing they all have in common is if you hurt them or kill them with something, they come back stronger and no longer susceptible to whatever it was that hurt them.
Yeah,
did you know that to be true?
That's how Doomsday is, and
that's how Doomsday is.
I don't know if they ever directly say the world killers or that he's a world killer or not, but they allude heavily to it.
He's always assumed to be one.
Yeah, and Rain looks more like a monster, and looks a little bit more like Doomsday in the comic books. Like that mask, it's kind of like horn ridges, right? That's like biologically horn ridges that she has, and gray skin and stuff. I'm gonna
look her up right. Oh yeah, you're right. Whoa. Yeah.
In the live chat, Carrie gives it 3.333 repeating capes. The extra is for Livewire RIP. All right.
She'll come back. Guaranteed.
I don't think it's guaranteed at all.
Next season.
Nope,
she'll be back.
I don't want her to come back. Nope. Let her rest in peace.
Except it'll be Livewire 2.0.
Yeah.
Great. I know nothing about the character. I just stop it. Stop bringing everybody back.
It's comic books. It's one of the.
But you can
better
do better.
force.
We can do better than that. All right, let's move on to the Flash.
All right.
Okay, I'll say this real fast. No, please.
We were done already, aren't you?
I'm already done.
Yeah.
This is episode 11 of season 4. It's the Elongated Night Rises. It's written by Sterling Gates, who, by the way, wrote. Since we just talked about Supergirl, he wrote Mr. and Miss Mixie-Pleck. I can never say his name right.
Mixie-Pleck.
And so it's interesting. And then Thomas Pound is the other writer, and directed by Alexandra LaRoche, whatever.
LaRoche.
French. So Barry's getting used to prison life while the team tries to find evidence of him being framed. Ralph Dibny has stepped up as the city's new superhero. Stretchy Man. Okay, not really his name, but the pesky press keeps calling him that. But when Trickster escapes prison with help from his mom, former sidekick Prank, and sidekick of his dad, Trickster, just to clarify, he tries to impress his dad by killing Ralph. A special acid that Trickster creates shows Ralph isn't invincible, as invincible as he thought, and Ralph gets cold feet with this whole superhero gig thing. It's got real. A talk with Barry gets him back on track, and they have a showdown, and he gets his new name, Elongated Man.
Still that name. It's just they got to come up with something better than that.
No, that's his name for the comics. They have to
That's
use
his name.
No, I know. The comics got it wrong to begin with. I mean, he's the answer to Mr. Fantastic, but come on.
They already had Plastic Man, so they needed some other name.
Yeah, you can't use Plastic Man.
Here's what I say. I know that was at the end, but I'm going to say I think that was the cleverest way to explain his goofy name. That he just said, I elongate, man. And they saw seriously, I was like, they knew it was a stupid name, but I thought they gave a very clever way to explain why he got that name.
Yeah, that's a good name. It's because sometimes you get stuck with what the press gives you,
Yeah.
Like the Red Blue Blur.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you could have something with a lot. I think the word stretch could have been used somehow, like this, like stretcher or whatever. Like, be a little creative with the word stretch. I think might have sounded more cool.
Well, you got Stretch Armstrong, so there's another copyright thing. Gotta be careful.
Yeah. Quick, hit up the dictionary for synonyms for stretch, and then we'll see what we got.
In the chat, Victor says, I think this week is much better than last week. Stretchy Man has to decide to be a true hero. And Raisa says, prank actress, same as 90s Flash series alongside Mark Hamill. That's what I thought. I figured it was the same one, so thank you for confirming that. I think that was really cool. She was great.
That is cool. Yeah,
she was. Yeah, it was cool. I like how they've pulled almost everybody back from the old series.
Yeah.
That is great.
Says, I love the interview with Ralph at the end. Francis says, big fan of this episode. They finally made Dibney a more likable character. Francis has actually had a problem with Dibney for a while now, so that's great. Let's just make says the lady who played Trickster's mom was cute. All right, there you go. Let's just meet. Guys are on a date. Yeah, so you know what? I'm just going to jump right in. So I know, Mark, you've been a huge fan of Dibney because you really like the character from the comics. I've liked him, but I've had not like as much as you. But I will say this is the episode where I think they did exactly what they needed to do with his character. Like, this is his episode to shine and really like get his character where it needs to be. Yeah, this I think it was great. Right. He was super. He's funny. He becomes the hero we want him to be. It was a great episode for him.
You like the costume?
I love the costume at the end. Yeah.
2 thumbs up. Yeah, it looked good. It was a nice modernized TV version of what he looks like in the comic books. I think the mask and everything, the colors, it looked really good. I'm glad they didn't make it cheesy. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
But the original one was about as cheesy as you can get that he was wearing.
Yeah, I mean, it was purple and pink. That was it. Just a stripe. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys like him. I had faith that Ralph Dibney would
I like him better now. Yeah, I didn't like him in the beginning when he first came on the show. I just thought, man, this guy's not heroic in any sense of the word. Why should he get superpowers? But he's grown a little bit on me. He's just, he's okay.
In the chat, Victor says the costume is great. Carrie says, I did love the Bebo cameo, and Raisa says the Bebo cameo rocked. Well, someone's not going to like that on this show, we know. Martin hates Bebo. He hated him for the Legends episode.
The worst thing to ever grace my TV screen on a Legend of Tomorrow episode was Bebo. As soon as they saw him come back, me and my partner Lisa, we freaked out. And then when they melted him, it was erupting in cheers. Yeah, let's get rid of him.
You guys are cold-blooded, man. See, I actually love Bebo. I think Bebo's cute, and I actually shed a tear when I didn't literally shed a tear, but I actually did. I felt sad, man. I was like, I kind of didn't want to. I totally didn't watch it. Actually, I kind of turned away a little bit. I was like, no, don't kill Bebo.
Bebo loves to get clean.
He's so cute.
It was more like rewind and watch in slow motion. Die, Bebo.
God, man. Yeah, Francis says, but Bebo loves you in the chat.
Yeah, when the Bebo episode happened, I said, "Oh man, they should have Toy Man use Bebo and stuff." So it's the next best thing, Trickster.
Yeah. But anyway, I think if you actually step back and look at it, I think the Flash realized how stupid it was on Legends, and they brought it into Flash to just say this thing was dumb, and we're going to show you what we think of it as well by melting him and killing him in various ways.
No, I think they love Bebo.
I think they thought it was real fun on Legends, so they wanted to bring it in. Nope. I don't think you've seen the end of Bebo.
Nope. I hope not.
In fact, writers, if you're watching on all these shows, please work Bebo in as much as possible.
You, my friend, are becoming my supervillain.
Excellent, great. By the way, everybody in the chat is saying, "But Bebo loves you." To you now.
Oh yeah.
Keep it up, folks.
Let's talk about.
Send a Bebo down to Martin. By the way, you're in the chat.
They need to make those. So, what do we got? What do we think of the trickster and prank combo? Did you enjoy that mishmash?
Yeah, it was good. They actually did it really well. He's just with the mother-son relationship. I think it played off well. It was kind of. I wonder how fun it was for the actress to play this role. However many years we are later, 20+ years later, for her to dive back in. She did it great. She really dove into the craziness aspect of it. Like when she made the switch, when she forgot to take her medication and she switched. Yeah, bang up job. And it was good. It was good. He was so wanting to impress his dad, and he didn't even want to listen to her at all and not give her any credit that she was even around during his dad's reign and villainy. So yeah, it was good.
Who was first, Prank or Harley Quinn? I think Harley Quinn was out by then, right?
Harley Quinn debuted on the Batman animated series in the early 90s. Oh, it might have been Prank first. I'll have to look it up. I think Flash was 90, 91, right? Something like that. And animated was right around then too. Yeah, that's a close one actually.
Yeah.
Somebody in our chat might know. Anyway, yeah, I actually like Prank a lot. They worked very well together. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the trickster, the kid, he's just a fucking idiot. Like, he's a dumbass. First off, your father's an idiot. Your mom actually loves you. Stop being a dummy. And he's pretty incompetent, to be honest with you. Except if he had the acid, that actually worked.
Yeah.
Like, I love the beginning how everything was just bouncing off Ralph. Like, when he was trying to do all the other stuff. Reza says, the episode was to compensate for lack of Mark Hamill, who couldn't shave Jedi beard in time to be in the episode from Star Wars. She says, but he'll break family out of prison next year, probably.
I bet so. That'd be awesome.
She also says in the chat that Prank was first. I think that's accurate.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Trickster family reunion episode. It's gonna be great.
That will be good. You gotta have all three of them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll be great to have Hamill and her work together again, like they did in the original.
That'd be awesome.
What I was disappointed because when Trickster's son first showed up, it was a pretty little more daunting, scary. Like there's risk here in the scene because he was dropping all those little parachute bombs, and I mean they could have hurt anybody. He seemed a lot more of a not formidable foe, but he seemed more dangerous than this episode. This episode, he just seemed like a goof. I mean, he's just walking down the street, hey, and not. He wasn't impressive at all as a villain compared to the first time we saw him. So I think if they bring him back and if they have a Trickster family reunion, I want the Trickster, like even Mark Hamill's version, I want them to up it a level. I want them to get to a level where they are dangerous and there's some serious consequence if they're not stopped. But
when Prank got into it, they got pretty tricky. I mean, they were able to turn tables around, Killer Frost and Vibe right away. So I thought that was impressive.
Yeah.
I think Kid Trickster just is, he's just kind of immature and he didn't really spend very much time planning anything out. He just kind of spontaneously did it to get attention for his dad.
In the chat, Lister's May says, I think the woman who played the Trickster's mom looked too young to be a mom. Well, sir, I can tell you, it's been 27 or 28 years since the original Flash, so she is definitely old enough. Although I'm sure she loves hearing that she looks young.
Yeah. I mean, she looks good.
So what about prison? What do you think about Barry? What about prison? Well, Barry in prison. Those parts? What'd you think?
It was better the way they showed it this time than last episode for sure. Like I mean, the whole trial and trial of the Flash last week was it was horrible. Flash last week that was probably their worst episode all season.
And
even out of
I
many seasons.
I liked it.
The Flash is struggling this year, but I like the prison stuff because it kind of shows him. he's getting to walk around and see what his dad had to go through all those years. And the fact that he met that big muscle guy, and I know that's someone we're supposed to know. That was a wrestler or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The guy who protected his dad. Yeah. I love that whole idea that, you know, hey, your dad saved me, I'm going to have his son's back. I mean, that's a good relationship I like seeing built up. I hope we see more of that in the prison stuff to come. And I've always liked prison movies and stuff, so seeing Barry get in trouble when the gangs are coming after him, and they're, you know, I love that stuff. That stuff, it always has me worrying, because when I watch TV shows and movies, I always imagine myself in their situation, and that's what freaks me out. It's like, oh, I wouldn't want to be in prison and have a gang, you know, a prison gang coming after me, and no matter what I say, they're not having it, right? So it's good.
Just don't drop the soap.
Yeah, don't drop the soap.
So are you saying a wrestler is playing that character? What wrestler?
Yeah. I can't remember. Goldberg?
Was that Goldberg?
I think so. I think that's his name.
Chat, let us know, chat. You guys will know.
Yeah.
And the character Big Sir is actually...
Stormy just said the wrestler is Goldberg. Wow. Like, read in my mind.
Big Sir is actually a supervillain from the comic books, and his first appearance was actually tied into the trial, so that was interesting. Don't know if they're going to do supervillain or not with him, but it's cool to see that they brought that character in.
In the chat, Lister's Mate says, the prison story is a way to tell Barry's father's storyline. And Carrie says, jumping ahead, is Barry going to join a prison gang, get a tattoo, and a shank? Hopefully not. Oh, God.
I like that he's in prison more than one episode. I'm surprised and pleasantly surprised.
I told you, man. I said it last week. You're like, no.
Oh, you thought he was going to be out of prison right away? Like they'd solve it or figure it out or something?
Yeah, him and Charles, I think, our guest co-host last week. Yeah, they thought it was. I'm saying I thought it could be a few episodes at least.
I think so. Yeah.
They gave Ralph some time, and yeah, I'm surprised. They're just really bad about that. Like in the beginning of the season, I was kind of disappointed that he recovered so quickly from his weird mental fog state thing going on. I thought it'd been interesting to do a whole episode dealing with that a little bit, and maybe a solve that wasn't like, I love Iris so much or something. I don't know. That was kind of weird. Kind of fix they did. So I didn't have a lot of faith that they would stick around in prison very long, but I'm glad they did, and it was a good episode.
Yeah, I like the prison stuff, actually. I like the Big Sir character. It's cool that there's a connection to his dad through him. And then he saved them. And then I also like the Barry. I always kind of like the Days of Future Past movie kind of did this too. I think the best thing you're ever going to see it with the Quicksilver scene. But when you do scenes where, the Spitzer character is like basically just goes around and just moves everybody around the way they want him to be. I always love that kind of stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Now people will be less likely to mess with him because he just ninja them.
No, but nobody knows. Well, those guys will be less. They're not going to tell anybody, though, because it's going to be embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, he did punch the guy pretty good. He gave that one guy a pretty good uppercut.
Yeah.
But only those three guys know it. Nobody else was there.
Well, they don't know if he really used super speed. They just think they were very incompetent.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we all like the prison stuff. It's great. Is there anything else you guys want to cover or talk about with the episode?
Well, what about the prison warden? Do we trust him? Do we like him? He's kind of...
He seems like a pretty nice guy to me, actually. I mean, he was kind of looking out for Barry a little bit, letting Joe talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah, because he put him in the prison, the cell of his dad. That was kind of like... That feels a little bit like a passive-aggressive little thing.
Well, exactly, though, it could be, though, that he thinks he will feel better about it, to have a connection to his dad.
Maybe. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know.
Maybe that's the only cell that's available, all right?
Yeah, maybe. It's only cell in the corner,
That's right. He does have a nice corner cell. That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
nice corner cell. He's got his own cell, too, which is nice. He doesn't have to share.
Yeah, that's unusual. That's surprising.
Marx has been a lot of prisons. He knows how it is.
I guess it makes it easier for people to sneak in and talk to him.
Right, like Ralph.
Yeah.
Where did Ralph come from anyway? Like, where was he stretching it from?
Probably like a vent, right? Shaft.
Okay. Jeez.
Stormy in the chat says, I'm so happy Wally West is joining Legends. I think they will use him far better. Well, I'm with you, Stormy. There, I don't think the Flash has any idea how to use Wally. So,
well, and they didn't have the time or the space for him either. I think that was the problem with the Flash, is they're just introducing too many superpowered people, and that's why it's struggling right now. Is because now everybody has powers pretty much, and there's just not enough to go around.
Not Iris.
Yeah, well,
not Joe.
Yeah, but we like Joe. We don't like
not
Iris.
Harry.
Oh, we don't like Iris.
No, getting tired of Iris. Actually, just what they're doing with her. It's, I mean, give her something to do. She's not the leader of Star Labs. She doesn't have the background. She doesn't have the intelligence. She doesn't have the smarts to be the leader of that team. That's ridiculous.
I thought I've been a little hard on Iris in the past. Jeez.
She's
like I love her. She's
an investigative journalist. Let her get out there, hit the streets, and do the job that we know her to do from the comic books, from the cartoons, from everything. Like, let her go out there and be Flash's version of Lois Lane, like this. Because if in all those other iterations of her, she's out on the street digging for facts, digging for information, and quite often she helps the Flash solve crimes when he's just Barry Allen. She helps him solve crimes and stuff. Let her get it. It'd make her character so much more. Give us more depth to her character. It would give us something to watch for her, other than just like what's she doing? She's not even working right now. She just hangs out at Star Labs. How are they paying for her apartment? I can't imagine Barry makes that much money at the police force. Like, there's so many things wrong with her. Like, I cannot accept that Wells, Cisco, and everybody else is okay with her leading the team when they know so much better than she does.
Oh.
So all everybody in the viewers, if you like Iris, please send your hate mail care of Tomorrow's Legends and Arrow Squad.
Yeah.
Like, and if you like Maggie too.
Yeah, that's right. If you love Alex and Maggie.
Let's see, Maggie, Bebo, Iris.
If you love Bebo, yeah, lots of things to send actually to Martin.
I don't hate Iris. I love her relationship with Barry. I love the actress. She plays the part really well. I just want the writers to give her character something to do. It's her character that's bugging me.
Yeah, all right, so actually the chat is telling us stuff I was not aware of. Raisa says, Iris will get temp powers because pregnancy. Iris is going to get pregnant, I guess? I had no idea.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Is the actress pregnant?
I don't think, is she? I don't know. I don't think so.
It's just actually going to be part of the story.
We're going to spread rumors. She's pregnant.
Well, a lot of times they write. That's why they write it in, of course, because the actress actually gets pregnant.
In the comic books, she does get pregnant, and they have 2 kids.
Yeah, Raisa says she'll be speedster because of twins. I guess there's temp powers because the twins are. She's going to have twins. They're going to be speedsters. And I guess she's going to have temporary speed powers, maybe, from in her womb.
Is that confirmed? How she gets the powers?
I don't know. Raisa's saying that's what I guess she's read or something. There's been rumored.
Yeah, she is going to get powers. I saw pictures of her in a costume, so it's temporary. But yeah,
Stormy is with you, Martin. Iris needs to go back to journalism. I like Iris, but she needs to be more than Barry's wife. Stormy, look, he's got a big enough head already. Don't agree with him. I'm just kidding.
Well, I tell you, they are missing an opportunity here. They have a mystery or a crime that's been committed, right? And they got to prove it's wrong. And they have a superhero detective, and they have a investigative reporter. They're not really doing. Yep. Yeah, they're not doing anything. And they have a
detective
too.
Yeah. What the hell? Why can't they solve this?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's like, go out and investigate.
They need to bring Batman in, I guess. By the way, one thing we didn't mention. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the episode. The very end, with who is it? It's Barry and Iris's great-granddaughter. Who is it? Marx from the future that we saw in the crossover.
Well, we don't know 100%. It's either going to be one of their kids, or it's going to be a female version of Impulse or something. Or there's a.
I thought you said for sure it was one of their kids. I thought you said that was a definite. You thought.
Well, see there. So we also talked about how in Legion of Superheroes there's a character that's a relative of theirs too.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, and we thought maybe they're going to mix parts of her with Impulse, and maybe do something like that as a take. It's probably, but we don't know. They haven't confirmed anything. But I think it's pretty likely she's from the future and she's connected to them. And we saw the writing, which is a really interesting clue to first episode of the season. So
yeah, what kind of writing is that?
It's future writing. They write where we're in the future.
Because some people were guessing, was that the same writing that Barry was writing when he came out of the Speed Force? Was it the same symbols and stuff?
I believe so.
Right.
Raisa in the chat says maybe it's their daughter. I love that scene so much. It was so like quirky and funny, and she's so like happy and energetic. Like I just love that girl. And again, like you pointed out, that's the actress from Jessica Parker Kennedy. I want to say maybe is her name from Black Sails. And I cannot tell you what a night and day difference this role is from Black Sails. Like holy shit, she can act.
Wow.
Like it is nothing.
I didn't even recognize her. Holy.
I didn't either until actually Marx told me it was from Black Sails, and I watched it all the time. I was like, oh my god, that is her. I had no idea.
That's a good actor.
Interesting. All I had was like that's the girl from the wedding, isn't it? And Lisa's beside me. She goes, I don't know. I can't. I said it is. But I hadn't had any guesses as to who she's supposed to be playing. But I like the idea of it being someone from the future. For sure. I mean,
especially if she's a speedster, it's another reason why they might want to get rid of Wally, because it's like, my gosh, so many speedsters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many in the cartoons? Bart Allen comes back from the future and hangs out with them for long. He's the new Kid Flash for a while, right? So maybe this is their version of that, or of that story idea.
Carrie in the chat says the writing almost looked Kryptonian. Kind of did actually, a little bit. And let's see here. Francis says, cool. Does that mean Iris's baby belly will move so fast the rest of her body has to follow her? Sure.
Okay.
Carrie says he thinks the actress we're talking about, she was Plastique in Smallville. Oh, actually, let's check that out, Carrie. See if that's right. That'd be interesting if she was.
Plastique in Smallville?
Yeah, I'm not
same
sure.
Is the same actress?
That's a ways ago, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which actress are we talking about here?
I think he's still talking about the one we're talking about. Who's the daughter or the future daughter, granddaughter?
She's too young, I think.
Yeah, I think she's too.
Yeah, you know what? She might be right.
You know, I don't actually think she's probably not as young as we think she is. They made her look really young in this show. She looks older in Black Sails.
Yeah, no, I just pulled up. I just Googled her. It's the same girl. Yeah.
Carrie, you are the man as always, sir. Good catch.
Wow,
that's impressive, man. And the internet today, Gary.
Yeah. Good job. Holy.
Wow. So how old is she, the actress?
I just Google imaged her. I didn't go to her IMDb page. But,
you didn't stalk her.
Because she looks so young that I was thinking they were talking about Ralph. You should try to go off her and just too smart. And I'm like, she looks like she's like way younger than you too, but then maybe not.
I love her though, man. I just love how positive and happy she is.
Well, I wonder if she's going to end up being tied to the Thinker's plan. It's going to have something to do with time travel or something, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe she can help defeat him. That'd be great.
Maybe. Or maybe he already knows she's...
I would love it if she just comes in and she's like super peppy, like, haha, Thinker, I'm going to foil your plan.
Here's an interesting fact. She's born in 1984. So what's that make her? She's
33.
11 years younger. Yeah, 33. And she's from here, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, which is where I am sitting right now.
Wow.
Hey.
Cool. There you go. Go to her house and ask her to be on the show.
Yeah.
That'll guarantee you she'll never be on your show.
I don't know if she even lives here anymore, but anyway.
I'm sure she's either in Vancouver or LA or something.
Yeah, nobody stays around here. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Well, not if you make it big. Yeah, Calgary's film industry is barely. I mean, we just built a new film studio, but there's nothing here right now.
Oh, really?
All
Yeah.
right, gonna give some ratings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of 4 lightning bolts.
Yes. Who wants to go first?
Martin, go ahead.
I'll give this 3.25 lightning bolts. This was a better episode of Flash than last week by far. It was a lot more fun watching Ralph get to do some of his signature moves and stuff from the comic books. I like when he did that big stretch and protected them. That was great. That was totally exactly out of the cartoon, so it was great. It was fun.
Nice. Yeah, I really love this one. I do agree that I think The Flash has been its weakest season. It's struggled a lot, but I think this is exactly
what we agree.
I know, yeah, on something. Yeah. It's amazing. I think this is exactly the right. They got the right tone here. They had some really funny humor, but they didn't go too goofy and over the top with it. Great episode for Ralph. I give it 3.75 lightning bolts. Actually, I really liked it a lot.
Ooh,
wow! That's a near perfect episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3.5. I think But you're right. With a combination of trickster, prank, along Ralph coming to be the hero he's supposed to be, the prison stuff being interesting. That's all good. I'm almost tempted to give it more, but I think 3.5.
All right, in the chat, Victor and Francis give it 3.5, and Racer gives it 3.
What makes a perfect episode of Flash for you guys?
Before we answer that, Carrie, by the way, says have the actress Jessica Kennedy there. Have her record the show intro in a real quirky way. Oh, I would love that, man. If she introed our show as her character, that would be the best.
Yeah.
Perfect episode. I'm trying to think because we did give a couple 4s, I think, last season.
Usually those.
It might have been the Grodd, actually, when the Gorilla Island one or Gorilla.
Yeah,
I did not give that one a perfect score. But
I don't know, but
it came close.
Yeah, I don't remember
You might
exactly. It was some other one we said nothing to do with Grodd. Yeah, I have to go back and look at them all again.
We've given 4s.
We don't give the 4s out a lot.
No,
Yeah.
I think it probably just based on emotions. I think way back in season 1 when Barry was trying to save his mom and he had to go back and actually witness her get killed and then take off his mask and get to say goodbye to her. That was probably a perfect Flash episode because that had me in tears. The emotions of that episode was so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll also say any episode from season 2 that had Patty Spivot in it would probably get a high rating for me because I love Patty Spivot.
Now we're best friends again.
She's the
Awesome.
best, actually, probably the best thing that's done on that show. And I so wanted Barry to be with Patty.
Yeah. I want Barry to be with Patty. I loved, what's her name? What's the actress that played her?
Oh, fuck.
Chantel
Van something Sustern, maybe?
Yeah.
No?
Anyway.
Something. Carrie, help
her
us out.
Performance. Yeah, her performance of Patty was absolutely amazing, spot on. I loved it. They had better chemistry on screen than Barry and Iris do. They had
stuff in common. They like the same geeky stuff.
Yeah, they suit each other. But she's such a great character, and I was in love with her immediately. And I'm so sad they wrote her off. I was hoping they were going to let her stick around for a while because, based on the new 52 version of the comics, Barry is with Patty Spivot. Iris is barely even in the scene. It's him and Patty.
Interesting.
Oh, really?
But, well, New 52 doesn't exist anymore, though, so they probably went back to Iris.
but it went for 52 issues, and she was pretty strong. You know, they are pulling a few ideas from that for this TV show, so it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I noticed that. The Wally West Flash looks like the Wally West in the TV show now.
It's only in the New 52, version of the comic books that Wally West and the whole West family is the way they are in the TV show.
By the way, Raisa says it's Van Stanton is her name.
Van Stanton, thank you.
Thank you, Raisa.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw her not long after, like in the first episode of Timeless. I was like, oh, it's great. She's on this show. And then she died. And I'm like, what?
Oh, no wonder I didn't like that pilot so much.
I think she's on another show called Shooter, I think.
Oh, she's on Shooter? I heard good things about that show.
I think she has a regular gig, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a regular actress on that one, but anyway, good. See, Jeff, now we're friends again. We can agree on Patty Spivot.
Excellent.
In fact, you know how
go ahead.
You know how on my podcast I go by the moniker of the Flash. That's my name. My partner in life, Lisa, she goes by Patty Spivot because she's very much like her. So it's kind of funny, nice. Flash and Patty.
Ah, interesting.
Anybody who likes Patty is okay with me.
All right.
We'll have to. Okay. Sorry.
So, moving on to Arrow?
Yes, let's move on to our last show we're going to talk about tonight, and that's Arrow. This is called We Fall. It's the 11th episode of Season 6, written by our favorite named writer, Speedweed, and Spiro Skentos, who, according to Marx's notes, I guess is a writer for Grimm.
Yeah, he used to write for Grimm, yeah.
Directed by Wendy Stanzler. In this episode, Caden James takes control of the internet and all electronics in Star City, while original Team Arrow and Whiny Team Arrow try to stop him. And Oliver has to come clean to William about taking up the Green Arrow mantle again. So that's not really their name, folks. I'm just calling them Whiny Team Arrow because they're really annoying the fuck out of me. But let's start with Oliver and William, actually. Carrie, by the way, Carrie says Amanda Waller, actress from Arrow, is on Shooter as well. Cynthia Ade something, right? Something like that.
Good.
Wow, interesting.
Cool.
Nice. Oh, and Stormy says she plays the wife on Shooter, meaning Chantel, I think. is what that was
Right.
referring to.
Right. Yeah. That sounds
Thank
right.
you guys. You guys rock. You always give us all this information. You guys
Good
are
information, you guys. Jeez. Yeah.
awesome. Stormy says, "I love this episode of Arrow." Awesome. All right, let's talk
Yeah,
Oliver and William. William was a big part of this episode. Martin, hey, I see you're eager to say something. Go ahead.
Well, I just finished recording Arrow Squad yesterday, so I'm in the process of editing it right now, which Stormy was a part of. This episode was amazing. This was probably the best episode of the season of Arrow, I think. And I'm giving all the props to Wendy Stanzler for the way she directed this episode. So now that the reason you're on the scenes with Oliver and William, this is the one show we're introducing a kid. They are writing it perfectly in every way. Like the scenes with William are not annoying me at all. And this was great stuff. I mean, the family moments with him, with the two of them and Felicity in there, with the three of them, it really felt real. It felt like a real family. It made me wish I had, had connections like that. It was just.
Wish you had a dad who was a superhero.
Yeah, something like that. But
and a mom who was a super hacker genius.
Isn't everybody's?
Isn't everybody's nowadays? Yeah. No, it was so well done. The emotion was right. The music was right. The acting was spot on. I loved the situation because we were wondering how long was Oliver going to lie to his son. When is that going to be resolved? When is William going to find out? And they brought it. They answered that question right away. And all the reactions and the emotions by the characters, the way everything happened, it felt exactly how it should.
Sweet. In the chat, people are liking it too. Carrie agrees with Stormy. I love this episode. Stormy also says, I call that team worse than Whiny. All right, good. You're with me. Raisa says, liked William development, but Caden still underwhelming despite Michael Emerson. Francis, good bonding between Felicity and William. Yeah. I think I'm here going to be honest with you. The kid who plays William is fine, but he's definitely if I compare him to Ruby actress is way better, I feel.
I hate to say that, but yeah.
I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, I hate to knock the kid. I do feel bad, but I'm not saying he's bad, but he's not as developed as she is as an actor.
Yeah, when he told him to get off the bus, it was pretty.
That didn't work. That's the one scene that didn't work at all. Like in this, they need to be really dramatic, and it's not working.
Yeah,
I didn't mind that. No, interesting.
But I do agree with you that I think the stuff between Oliver and William is really well done. It's heartfelt. It's believable. Felicity is great with him too. It's like, yeah, what a great stepmom, basically, more or less, right? Yeah.
Oh. Well, if you're going to lead with that into that scene with Felicity and William, that was the best scene of the entire episode.
You like the way they cut the two things together?
The way they cut the two things together back and forth while she's trying to explain to him why it's important for his dad to be out there being the Green Arrow and helping people and saving the city. And that, just the way she explained everything and the way they're cutting it back with the action scenes, everything seemed to match up just right. And the music cues going back and forth depending on what was happening. It was I think that whole sequence deserves an Emmy. Same with Emily Bett Rickards. I think Emily deserves an Emmy nod for her performance in that whole scene. It was phenomenal.
All right. Well, I didn't like it that much, but it was a innovative way. And I will say, what I do love is Arrow. I think has done a lot of different innovative stuff this way with the way they've done this fight scenes. A lot of very long one camera takes with fight scenes and they've tried different things this season, which I like a lot from the directorial standpoint.
Right.
So I'm with you on that. I think it was cool.
So you being the guy that loves these shows being based all on relationships, that comes first. That didn't make this scene the best thing ever for you?
He's calling you out.
Well, no, I'm saying I don't think it's it's Emmy award. You're going it's the best thing that's ever been basically all year long of any show on TV. Is what you're saying.
Just because the Emmys give out all kinds. The Emmys give out awards in all kinds of crazy categories, and most of them we don't even see in the award show.
But technical Emmy stuff.
Yeah, like the technical stuff, but even just the performance of that scene, like most dramatic or most well portrayed. I don't even know what the word is. I just think it's definitely worth its weight in awards.
I'm with you. It was really good, but no, there's been other ones that have been better, in my opinion too. Yeah,
it was good,
it was
and I liked William's reaction. A lot of William's stuff before now, I didn't quite get. Like, I felt like he was emotionally just something was wrong with his emotions in a way, because I didn't quite understand his thinking about it all. Wanting him to stop being Green Arrow because tying it to his mom's death and everything was a little bit of a stretch in some ways. But I buy William this episode a lot better, and his reactions and the way he's thinking about stuff. And maybe you just need to see his dad in action and to really understand the difference between him and Prometheus, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I liked the way he was asking questions, too. Him and Felicity were having a conversation. He was asking things that he was worried about and what he wanted to know, and she gave him answers. She didn't sugarcoat it for him, so this is great.
Stormy in the chat says, I loved every scene with Oliver, Felicity, and William. Stephen and Emily, Stephen said Emily shined in this episode, and I couldn't agree more, is what Stormy says in the chat. You know what? Maybe that actually had more effect on me than I thought. All these shows start to blend together for me sometimes because I watch them so close together. I actually think it might have been the scene you're talking about with Felicity and him. I actually think I did tear up at one scene, and it probably was that one.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good job.
So it was very impactful, yes.
I watched it twice because I have to watch for Arrow Squad. I got to watch every show twice. Once for pleasure and then once for taking notes. And even the second time through it hit even harder the second time. It's a good scene.
All right, nice. Awesome. That's good to hear. All right, well, you covered Felicity's talk with William. Let's see. All right, let's go to Caden James's plan, revenge story, all that stuff. So I guess we already knew that he blamed Arrow for his son's death, right, from a previous episode. And then he comes to his office, he brings it up again. And I'm kind of just sitting there saying, who the hell is your son? Who are you talking about? And, like, why isn't Oliver asking you what the hell you're talking about? Like... And finally, we get right. He says, like, you accidentally shot my son in a fight or something, right?
Yeah.
Some obscure fight that we have no idea what this fight was or who your kid still is, or I don't know.
Which apparently
1 year ago today.
Yeah. Apparently wasn't him because he wasn't there in the city.
Because he was at Hub City recruiting Dinah, is what they said, right? So they think somehow somebody has framed him, right?
Yeah, but who would do that? Who's like, you know what? This super hacker guy, after he gets out of prison, because he's going to get captured by Argus any moment now, is totally going to get revenge on Oliver if I kill his son right now.
Well, I'm gonna end up giving away everything we discussed on Arrow Squad yesterday. Like what we're talking about, we think it, because he said 1 year ago today, and what was happening 1 year ago today, there was that whole Prometheus storyline going on. So it was when Prometheus was impersonating Oliver, running around killing people with green arrows, remember? We're thinking it was one of those. And not so much that he actually meant to kill a kid. I think he was in a fight shooting someone, and probably one of the arrows got misdirected or missed or whatever, and did shoot the kid. So that's that's our guess right now as to where it came from.
Good guess. Good prediction.
Yeah, it makes sense. A long plan.
Prometheus,
or whatever.
He's always making things tough for them, even beyond the grave.
Yeah, well, the joke is from the grave. He's still fooling Oliver and getting his revenge.
Yeah, Stormy just said maybe Chase is still 10 steps ahead, even dead. Wow, she said it just as we were talking about it. Nice.
See? Yeah.
Stormy also says, a complaint I have with Arrow, I want more Anatoly. Well, we will agree with you there. And also, if you like David Nick, who plays Anatoly, we had him on our show a few episodes ago. You can go check that out.
You guys.
It was a great interview. He's super fun.
Yeah.
Talked a little Stargate Atlantis, too, if you like that, which is he was on Arrow. So anyway, I don't know. So what's the whole thing with the Caden? I mean, I agree with Race. It's not really totally working, I feel, what they could do with him, but...
Did you shed a tear for Pike, or whatever his name is, the captain?
No,
that was shocking, wasn't it?
Because he just they brought him back finally, and they just killed him.
Kill him in the opening sequence, the opening 2 minutes of the show.
Wasn't he in a coma or something?
No.
In the hospital? Wasn't he in the hospital for a while at some point?
He got stabbed.
That's it.
Last season. He got out of that, though. I think they've shown him... They showed him standing around by the mayor at least once this season before.
Yeah.
Like early in the season, I think. I thought he was going to be vigilante, and I still kind of wonder. I wish I could talk to the writers and find out if the writers actually originally planned that and then they nixed it for some reason. But I really think they were building him up to be vigilante.
You got to listen to Arrow Squad this week after I release it, because that's exactly what we're talking about. When Vigilante and Pike were both in the episodes together, I thought for sure Pike is Vigilante, and I think, and Cammy agrees with me. We think the writers changed the direction for Vigilante, and they just, because we never saw who it was, and to begin with, they were able to do that, but totally the direction has changed. It was like a night and day difference with what they were doing with them. So.
Here's some exciting news in the chat. Ray, who's always up on all this stuff, says Katrina Law is back later this season. It's been confirmed, she says.
Yep. They announced it, yep.
That
for
is
one
awesome.
episode.
That's awesome. Can't wait.
Just one, though.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, Stormy says, yeah, Nissa back for episode 16. I like Nissa. So glad she's coming back. Totally with
Yeah,
it.
she's a fan favorite, I think, of everybody's.
She rocks it. Her accent is awesome as Nissa. Like,
I met her in person. She's exactly the same person, just like sweet as can be and just amazing.
wait, she's
and
just like Nissa? She's arrows
just,
into you and like...
She doesn't, I mean, by look, she
punches?
doesn't look... she doesn't look any different, but just her, she exudes so much personality and so much, like, you fall in love with her as soon as you see her. Just like we did with the character, right? She's such an amazing...
Did she have the same accent? Is that her natural accent?
No, that's not her natural.
No.
Okay.
No. But it's sweet, though.
I know because, I've seen her on others. She was on Spartacus, which that's before she
Yeah,
was
that's where
was
she
on
came
Oh,
from.
Spartacus,
that's right.
Which,
Forgot about that.
which is an amazing season. She was on season one, actually, a few seasons of that, actually. And then before that, actually, she was a small role a couple times on The Legend of the Seeker.
Yes.
Oh.
She was one of the
clad-
Mord Sith.
Yeah, clad in very tight red leather.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're laced like dominatrixes is what they are.
They are.
They actually toned it
Just
down
don't-
way for the series versus the books.
Yeah.
Just
Oh yeah. Yeah, but don't let them touch you with their paint sticks, because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of The Seeker. I wish it went more than 2 seasons, that show.
They should redo it. Put it on HBO.
I wish they did, because I love Legend of the Seeker. Really good show.
Great.
But you were asking about Kate and James' plan. The one scene that I actually really liked in this episode was when he just marched right into the office and faced Oliver down. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a bold move, and just he went in there with such confidence, and with it was a great scene. It was a great standoff between hero and villain, and that's to me what made him feel like a great villain this season, is that it's just the face-off, that face-off that they had together. I'm like, wow, look at this. You can almost split the screen, and you got good guy on one side, bad guy on the other side, and they're just looking at each other. It was a great moment.
I kind of just want in that scene, though, Oliver just to punch him and just like in the face and just have it done with
it. Yeah, but then the bomb would go off, and
yeah. What do you? Lister's mate. Oh, you had said earlier. Oh, by the way, Victor says you can never go wrong with tight red leather, and Lister's mate says I just lost the chat. Hang on, let me look over here. Just moved down. My nephew Derek couldn't understand the last part of the Arrow. I couldn't either. It felt like Oliver paid off the villain. Well, that's exactly what he did.
Yep.
Yeah, he
to buy
wanted the
some more
money at the
time.
end. I didn't really like that, particularly after his big speech about we will not ever negotiate with terrorists.
Well, they tried everything, right? And they weren't able to solve it or fix it or anything, so he had to... that buys them another 24 hours, unless what we were talking about, him and Thea might have an ulterior plan that we don't know about yet. They may have planned something.
Maybe they can track the money somehow.
Mm.
Give them some clues.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Raisa said the scene that you talked about with the office with Kate and Oliver was good and showed why they cast Michael Emerson.
Yeah,
Michael Emerson's an awesome actor.
Yeah, it was a great face-off. Yeah.
All right, so hey, let's talk about the other Team Arrow, new Team Arrow, as they're calling them. I have some other names for them. But Marx, you kind of called it. I think you predicted last week that they might be called the Outsiders. Is that what you said? Or no, somebody did. Was it you?
Did
you actually? You predicted that? Wow.
Yeah, because the Batman, the Outsiders, and they borrow a lot of stuff from the comic books. I don't think they're going to call themselves Outsiders, but they talked about it.
They used that joke, though. They used the term.
Yeah.
And then Dinah kind of poo-pooed it.
But she didn't come up with a better name, did she? Birds of Prey.
Don't
think it.
Don't you harp on Dinah.
No Birds of Prey, because they got to be all women, man.
Yeah.
And they.
Dinah's my favorite. Don't you dare harp on her.
Who, Dinah?
Yeah, she's awesome.
She was awesome. She's not as awesome this season. She's
the
still
train
cool.
scene.
She's still cool.
Come on, that train scene.
Oh, that was great. That's a great visual scene. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Well, it showed the power. It showed the extent of her powers, how strong they can be. Because I don't think she's ever pushed herself that hard. So that was just fantastic. I know she's caught up with Curtis and Renee. You know that whole thing right now. But I still like her as a character. Everything. You know, this 5-week time gap that we went through, she was being a cop. She's still fighting crime. She's still doing what she does. There's something about her I just can't. She's kind of like Nyssa to me. I love her like I love Nyssa. It's such a cool character, and I love the actress playing her too.
I still like her. It's really more Curtis and Renee I have a bigger issue with.
Yeah.
I do not. I'll be honest with you. Again, I do think the new Team Arrow is being a bunch of whiny bitches. Mainly because like Oliver and Felicity and Diggle, like they're actually kind of, if anything, going out of their way to try to be nice and saying like, we're sharing intel with you, good job, and every time at every point pretty much new Team Arrow, like Curtis and Renee just kind of shove it in their faces saying like, oh, fuck you guys, or we're not going to be part of your team, so it doesn't change anything, Hoss. You know, that's the lines they're giving them. Curtis even called Felicity for intel. When she gave him the intel, he said, thanks Felicity, but we're still not part of your team. Blah, hang up. Like why did he have to? He called her, and then you like put a dig on her. Like, what the hell? Like, why are they going out of their way to be like such jerks to them?
Yeah, because Renee and Dinah have no room to talk. They both were lying and keeping secrets.
Renee's the worst one, so everybody.
Well, especially him. Yeah. I wouldn't trust him. It's like he'll apparently out you if you just threaten his daughter. You're done. You know. It's Curtis the only one that had any room to get frustrated because he's been around. He knew them the longest. They knew him longest out of the three, and he didn't do anything wrong. But I think it's really hypocritical of the other two. Yeah.
And they've turned. I loved Curtis, but they're turning him to kind of just being annoying now because he keeps just like harping on it. I'm like, dude, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I hope they get back.
I hope so. Otherwise, I just want them to get rid of those characters. Just put them off the show at this point. If you're going to keep going this way with them.
I think they're going to lose really bad, and then they'll realize that they're stronger together. I thought they were going to do that in this episode, but they didn't quite do that. Well,
I mean, it showed them working together. They were able to still work together, even though they're two separate teams. So that was good. But I think this is a storyline arc that they can't resolve right away, because I think it would be way too unbelievable if one episode they break apart, they're all angry with each other, and the next episode they're all back together and it's happy, pat each other on the back again. That wouldn't work. Like, this has to stretch out for a little while before it gets resolved. That's what I'm enjoying about Arrow this season, is they're taking time to work through the stories and develop things. It's not just problem, fix next episode, done, move on, and everyone's like, what? How did that happen? Like, and so it's a lot more realistic.
Yeah.
So we have some thoughts in the chat about new Team Arrow. Let's see here. Victor says he's voting for Rogue Cards as a name. That actually is a cool name for the new team. Let's see. Stormy says Dinah is the least annoying member of her team. Her stopping the train was cool. And then she also says Curtis went behind his new team's back. So why is it okay for him to keep secrets? And then he says the new team refused to tell original Team Arrow about working with Vince. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. All true.
Yep, all true.
Yep. I don't know. It's gonna be curious to see how they finally decide. Yep, we're better together. You know, because they're gonna the whiny team's gonna be the ones that have to resolve that, because original team has forgiven them. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. My last question is: hey, where'd the FBI agent go?
Yeah. Right. Where? That's what I said too when I was watching it. And you know what? Don't miss her that much.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's missing her.
No,
but
actually,
they should at least.
In the chat. Carrie likes her a lot, actually, in the chat. I think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the performance of the actress, and I thought it was gonna be a good foil for the team this season, but it just, I think it was her last appearance was what ruined it. Like, she's investigating, she's trying to find proof of them being there, and then just out of the blue, she marches right into a public service thing, you know, when he's trying to help feed the community and stuff. She just walks right up and arrests him in front of his kid, in front of all the people. At that point, I lost it with her. I was like, that was a stupid move. Like, you don't, if you've got proof or whatever it is you found, just come get him out of his office or whatever. Don't do it publicly like that. Don't make this big spectacle out of it. It was too much of a transition from she doesn't have much, she's trying to investigate and find proof, to boom, I'm arresting you. There was a huge time gap there.
Yeah, she's a real one-dimensional character, one note, hitting the same note over and over again. And that's why I like to see a little bit of her reasoning why she hates vigilantes so much, and that kind of stuff to give her some depth. She's also like a clone of Misty Knight from Netflix Marvel.
Maybe she hates vigilantes so much because at that point in time she knew it was Pike.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Anything else you want to mention about Arrow before we wrap it up?
I'm curious your guys' perspective. If we took all the DC shows right now, including Legends, put them in order from top to bottom, what you're thinking is the best.
Oh, that's tough.
To the worst. Just for this season.
Just focus on these seasons, right? Is what you're saying?
Just these season. Which are the shows in your top 5 order right now? Yeah, just this season.
Hey, let's all do it. And in the chat, you guys do it too. I bet all of ours are going to be so different. Well, particularly me and Martin's. I guarantee you are going to be very different. But yeah, let's see. I know we got to think, right? All right, so I'm going to say right now, I've said this earlier, and I actually think Supergirl is having the strongest season they've ever done. Supergirl's the top for me right now. Then
that's your number 1. Then
Arrow.
Okay.
Then Black Lightning is so tough because it's only 2 episodes. I don't think it's really like I can really. But
all right, then let's not include it then. It had a strong start, but it's not.
I don't know if it's fair because we're looking at a bigger hole. But we can put it in if you want. Still, we can still put it right in there.
Sure.
Let me see what I got. Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Black Lightning, Legends.
All right.
I'm going to say Arrow, Black Lightning, Supergirl, Flash, and Legends. That's what I'll say. Yeah.
All right, Martin. Let me share some chats, and then as you think.
Sure, yeah.
Victor, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Flash, and Legends. Oh my God, what happened to Arrow, Victor? It's not even on your list. Stormy says, Arrow, Legends, Black Lightning. I can't read the other 2 because I don't watch them. Fair enough. Good point. Francis, Legends, Flash, Black Lightning, Arrow, Supergirl.
Wow, we're all over the map.
Someone has the reverse of me. Yeah, where are you, Martin?
Yeah. Arrow is leading the pack by huge chunks. Arrow by far to me is the best this season. So we're gonna go Arrow. Right now, 2 episodes in, I'll give Black Lightning the 2nd spot. Flash, Legends, Supergirl.
All right.
You got the same first 2 as me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised your Legends actually isn't a lot higher.
I
don't like the season though. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, this is my least favorite season so far. And
I think this is my favorite season of Legends.
Yeah.
So, but they've all kind of upped their game, I think, this season, all the shows. So,
yeah. Some more ratings from our listeners. Lister's Mate, The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning. Oh, he also leaves off Arrow. Geez, what's the people leaving off Arrow from this?
Maybe they're not watching them or something.
Must be.
Poor Arrow. Carrie Johnson, Arrow, Black Lightning, Supergirl, Legends, and Flash. Most fun to watch, Legends, is what he says. All right, cool. Hey, that was a good topic of conversation there, sir. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you for all your ratings there, folks. As always, thank you very much, of course, for watching. Let's give some final ratings here on Arrow. We do this out of 4 boxing glove arrows. Martin, what do you give it?
That one's a 4. This was that's a 4. I mean, there are a couple little things I didn't like about it. I'm still unsure about Vince or Vigilante, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to think of my ratings. I'm still unsure of him switching sides. I don't know if I believe that he is going to help Dinah or if he's in a longer con.
He killed Boots
with Caden.
Oh, yeah. R.I.P. Boots. Oh, man. What a shame that he died.
And that's the other point. Who is that? He's been at Caden James' side the entire season. We got nothing on him, no information, nothing, and then they just off him in this episode. So I was like, what the hell? They're just getting rid of people. It's like the writers decided, let's get rid of the dead weight. We don't need Pike anymore. We don't need this Boots guy. Let's just start.
I don't think he actually was the whole time. I think it was Faust originally, and then whatever reason they got rid of Faust and Boots came in.
Faust was so much better.
He was better. It must have been. They must have lost that actor for some reason. And
yeah, but still, they gave us nothing on him, and they kill him off. So those are the only things that maybe. So maybe if I maybe 3.9, I guess it's just because those couple of things I didn't like. Yeah,
I'm gonna give it 3.75.
Oh, very high, very high.
Nice.
Let me see what I should give this one. I think I'm gonna give it 3.25. All right, still very solid. Very solid episode. Stormy.
I took 25 off because I don't believe you can electrocute people that easily through monitors and elevators.
Right. Stormy and Francis both give it 3.5, and Victor gives it 4 boxing glove arrows. So
nice.
Also loved it.
Nice.
All right, thanks, folks. All right, here, before we get out of here, Martin, why don't you tell people, and I was going to put up this screen so they can see, but where can they find your shows, all that good stuff?
All right. Well, for fans of Arrow, you can just go to arrowsquad.com, and you'll see all the links for everything there for our podcast that we record Thursday nights. Or sorry, no, the show airs Thursday nights. We record Saturday mornings, so usually I release it on the weekend. And then for Tomorrow's Legends, where we cover Legends of Tomorrow, just look us up on Facebook. There's Tomorrow's Legends Facebook page, Tomorrow's Legends Twitter. Or tomorrowslegends.libsyn.com is our website for our podcast as well.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
And again, they do an awesome job. Marx and I have been on both those shows.
Yeah, just
so
do the shirt here. Tomorrow's Legends. There you go.
Yeah, we need shirts.
Check them out.
Yeah. I would love, like over on Tomorrow's Legends, me and Harley, my counterpart, we would love to have any new listeners come in and just share, because we dive deep into the time travel stuff and everything that's going on. It'd be great to have more people come in and share their thoughts and theories. And Arrow Squad, me and Cammy over there, Arrow's just going strong this year. We'd love to have more fans. Just join us over there. We got a lot of listeners and a lot of feedback every week. It's a good time.
Go to Tomorrow's Legends and tell them how much you love Bebo.
Yes.
And the podcast would be shut down suddenly.
Stormy says, can't wait to listen to Arrow Squad in the chat.
Thanks, Stormy.
Victor says, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, that's what I'm doing. As soon as we're done here, I'll finish editing and it'll be up tonight. Don't worry.
And Victor says, great, more podcasts to listen to during the dog walks. All right, there you go.
Thanks. All right, Victor.
All right. By the way, folks, I'm sorry. So I did something stupid there. I was trying to get Martin's screen up where you can see his logos and stuff. I overwrote our screen. So you're not going to be able to see us the rest of the show, but we're about to end anyway, so that's fine. So I totally deleted all the camera stuff I had up here. That's annoying. Anyway, but Marx, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Okay, so as I'm stripping and nobody can see.
Oh, you're missing out, folks.
You can check me out over at marxpyle.com.
Can you ever?
I accept PayPal accounts.
I'm checking them out right now, guys.
You can find stuff what I'm up to over there and other projects, and also the podcast I co-host called Genre Entertainment. And you can also find me on Twitter over at Mr. Marx.
All right, and of course, folks, you can find the rest of the stuff I'm up to at supergeekedup.com. Actually, tomorrow night we have a very special live stream. We're going to be playing an RPG called the Dresden Files Accelerated. So if you happen to be a file of the very popular Dresden Files books by Jim Butcher, this is a game made by Evil Hat Productions that is based in that world. Uses the Fate system, which is one of my favorite gaming systems. And actually, one of the Evil Hat people actually is going to come and run it for us. So basically, the creators of the game are going to come over here and run the session for us tomorrow. Marx and I actually are going to be two of the players. We've got a bunch of our other usual crew there that has been playing D&D with us to play along. I can tell you it's going to be set in Vegas, so that's an interesting setting right away. I'm sure tons of crazy stuff will happen. Marx, what are you playing? Night of something?
And I'm playing. This takes place before the Dresden Files books, if you guys read them. And I'm previously unknown Knight of the Cross. So I fight demons and such. And he's a former mobster from mob family. So he's a former wise guy turned holy guy, and and he also wanted to become a stage magician too. So he's got layers. He's got layers.
Nice. And I'm playing a Valkyrie actually, so that's gonna be fun.
Cool.
With Odin and stuff.
That's cool.
If you haven't read the Dresden Files book, because I'm actually only on book 2, you will not have anything ruined for you because, like he said, it is set before the events of the first Dresden Files book. Because there's like, what? Somebody just told me that 14, 15 of them, something like that. I don't know.
I think there's 14, but there's also a collection of short stories too.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's 9 p.m. tomorrow, Monday night, folks. We're going to be streaming live for like 3 to 4 hours. Join us any time of that during that. Supergeekedup.com is where you can catch that as usual. We love to see you in the chat. Having a lot of fun there. And then, of course, Wednesday night is we just did the season premiere of Super Geeked Up live past Wednesday, where we do a lot of fun geeky chat and we do geeky improv games. So if you've never seen our show, think of it as a geeky version of Whose Line Is It Anyway? So we always have a ton of fun. Actually, our premiere, I would say, is probably one of our most hilarious episodes because of our crazy guest that we had on from Asinine Wisdom podcast. And so, yeah, 11 p.m. Wednesday, we're going to do that for the next bunch of weeks. And you can have fun with us there. And, of course, Sunday nights, DC Action Hour, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right.
You guys are busy. Wow.
Yep.
These guys do a lot.
Yeah. Well, you do 2 shows too, man, so you're busy.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Again, we do have a real Patreon page, not Marx's weird stripping page, but we have a real one. Patreon.com/super.
You want to see mine?
No, you really don't. Actually, if you pledge to Super Geeked Up one, I'll make sure I delete that one from the internet, so nobody ever sees it. So Super Geeked Up on Patreon is where you can find us. There's also a link right on the homepage of our website, and I always say this again, but really, folks, any amount. Lister's mate Victor and Francis in the chat. I know you guys already pledged. Thank you very much, guys. Any amount you can do. There's even a button for PayPal one-time donation. It definitely helps us out because, as he said, we actually are very busy. Put a lot of work into this stuff. It does take a lot of time and effort. So appreciate it.
It does.
And as you've seen, if you watch our show, we've upped our visual presentation a lot with the better webcams and the way we present the stuff and on the chat and all that stuff. So, and lighting and all that good stuff. All right, but that is everything. Thank you, as always, very much for watching. That's it. Thank you again to Martin from Arrow Squad and Tomorrow's Legends. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys for having me. Yeah, thanks, guys. It was fun.
And so hopefully you enjoy all the new episodes this coming week, folks. And hopefully we'll see you soon. All right, bye, everybody.